Since 2018, the Lindale Football Eagles have graced their school and community with 4 straight visits to the postseason, which includes their first ever trip to the 4A state championship game in Arlington just 2 years ago, averaging almost 10 wins a year in the same span. This year's Eagles are riding behind one of the most experienced and strongest offensive lines in the state, expecting to protect one of the deepest collection of running backs in District 9 4A. Along with a heavy dose of defensive weapons and D-line play stoppers from a year ago, the 2022 Lindale Eagles have loaded themselves with high expectations and a will to attack each week head-on. OnTheCall.net presents the 2022 Lindale Eagles and District 9 4A High School Football. Tonight's game broadcast is made possible by the generosity and outstanding community support from Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment. For tires, brakes, alignment, and accessories, don't put your safety at risk. Beeler Roofing, residential and commercial roofing and repairs for over 40 years. Office Barn, celebrating 22 years as East Texas' only new and used office furniture superstore. Marucci Elite East Texas, coaching up thousands of baseball and softball athletes of all ages to the next level. Frieden Enterprises and Ironworks Freelance Web Design, making it simple for customers to know you. Rose City Air, honestly educating their customers on the most efficient way to maintain their HVAC systems. Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, serving the highest quality barbecue with backyard hospitality. Come for the food, stay for the experience. Eagle Chiropractic, Dr. Shane Allen, making you stronger every day by adding years to life and life to years. Doc Deason, Real Edge Real Estate, creating new home dreams for families for over 17 years. And Root Construction, providing custom construction solutions through integrity-based principles and follow-through. Let's head down to the Root Construction press box for tonight's broadcast with Kenny Smith, Coach Alan Phillips, and Stuart Campion.
I think everybody understands in the state of Texas, if you're still playing football around Thanksgiving, that means you've done pretty well throughout the regular season. A couple of weeks into November and you're still alive, then things are getting very, very good for your football team. Things have worked out very well. Well, the Kilgore Bulldogs and the Lindale Eagles are no stranger to playoffs, but this is the second time in 3 years these two teams will match up this deep in the playoffs, and they're out of the same district. It is one of those games where we're so glad and lucky to have it as a local football game tonight at Tyler's Christus Trinity Mother Rose Stadium, and of course at Earl Campbell Field. And there's been so many numerous instant classics at this football stadium, regardless of the two teams that are matched up against each other. It is payback time for the Lindale Eagles, as they were hoping to get to this point in the season where they would be able to get another shot at the Kilgore Bulldogs, a victory for Kilgore in the regular season. Lindale looking forward to bringing back a much better and a much improved football team to this game tonight. Coach Chris Cochran gives us a special Thanksgiving pregame look at what to expect tonight. Coming to you live from Rose Stadium in Tyler tonight, it's the Class 4A Division I Region 3 Regional Semi. Kilgore and Lindale coming up next. You're listening to Lindale Eagle Football with OnTheCall.net.
The summer of 2022 has been tough on everyone, especially those that were without a top-performing HVAC system. Rose City Air was created by Will Decker and Heath Willingham after they experienced plenty of too little, too late scenarios, with two objectives in mind: service and educate consumers on the most efficient ways to maintain a healthy AC unit correctly the first time and eliminate the anxiety of second and third opinions and repairs. Rose City Air takes the time to show you the complexities of maintaining a top-notch HVAC system while the estimate and assessment is being done. Rose City Air's free estimates, 24-hour no-hassle emergency services, low-cost maintenance agreements, and discounts for veterans, first responders, and educators are why Rose City Air wants to service your home or business whenever the need arises. 903-630-4343 or go to rosecityairtx.com.
A showroom almost as big as a football field. Really? Office Barn in Tyler.
A ridiculous amount of inventory at Office Barn. New and gently used office furniture.
More desks than the Pentagon.
Any style of desk imaginable. Desk as low as $50.
Office chairs.
Over 1,000 chairs in stock of all kinds from $20 to $2,000.
Conference room tables.
Biggest selection of new and used conference tables we've had in a long time.
Low cubicle prices.
Really stylish cubicles and workstations with space planning, delivery, and install.
Office Barn in Tyler.
We ship anywhere with next day delivery in East Texas. Buy it in the box and save even more. Discounts for nonprofits, veterans, and first responders.
Between Tyler and Lindale on Highway 69. Across from the big American flag.
Call or text us. It's the same number, 903-881-0340.
Office Barn in Tyler.
Office Barn.
Man, it's fun to start this talk out without having a bus ride that just followed right before this happens. We get to come back home and welcome back to Christus Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium, Earl Campbell Field. Man, it's fun to be able to do a playoff game in the middle of this in round 3. And Chris, you get to, I hate bringing those darn things up, a payback game or a game, a second chance game or so. The previous game during district is done and everything. So let's go to the preparation for this right off the bat. First of all, health-wise, as we say, happy Thanksgiving, post-Thanksgiving to everybody. We'll talk about gratefulness here in a second. Let's talk about the health of this football team. Fought a little bit of sickness last week, you told me. The overall health of this team is a lot better at this point last year. Obviously, had we got an extra round than it was last year. You've got much less people on the injured reserve list. Let's talk about the overall health of this team and how happy you guys are with the strengths you've got coming into tonight.
Yeah, we are. We're excited about where we're at for the most part. Health wise, we've got some out with the flu this week. Had Christian Weidman out last week, and it's kind of worked its way through. Whether it's a flu or just guys not feeling well, that's mainly been with our JV this week. But we have battled it, and which means, people don't realize how important that scout team is. And our JV, this is the best group of scout team guys that we've had probably ever. And so there's been some guys that have been missed, this week of practice, but we've just found a way, and other guys have stepped up into that role. Had a few guys out that will most likely, they will be emergency guys just because they haven't been able to practice all week because of the flu. So, but as far as our injuries, we are still doing well, and I'll knock on wood on that. We're still doing well. Nashad and Kaysen, we see them, every day, and that still pains me. That's a hard thing, and I know that's hard for them, but they're great teammates, and they're still showing up for their brothers. Overall, our guys are doing really well. We had some bumps and bruises after a hard-fought game last Friday night, but Ryan Wilhelm and his staff doing an incredible job getting our guys back going, and so everybody practiced this week and was basically full go, so it's been good, and we're excited about this afternoon football game.
Back up a little bit, and speaking about the team and people backing each other up, Georgetown a week ago, Brazosport, captains walking out on the field to take the toss. Number one was not in pads, in street clothes, and his jersey. That was pretty special from upstairs. Explain why that guy walked out at midfield for the toss last week.
Brett is he's been a captain for us all year. He was voted on as a captain at the beginning of the year. This was after week 1 of fall camp. And so, there's been several times where, because he is a captain, even though he's not dressed out, he's at every captain's meeting. And he's, I try to keep him in the rotation, our actual captains that get to do the coin toss, along with, we always vote on, our captains always each week vote on an honorary captain, which last week that was Brandon Petway. So it's a special thing for those guys to get to represent their team and, step out there as a just as I guess you could say an ambassador and represent our program, in that way, leading us into the game as captain. So that's pretty cool.
Sticking with the Thanksgiving theme, since I think we're all still burping it off from yesterday, but outside the family, of course, the things that come to your mind when you think about week one and the goals you guys had, team goals, whether it be personal goals, what are the things you're most proud of that you guys have accomplished up to this point within this whole team concept you guys carry around?
That's a great question. I'm proud of our resilience. That word just keeps on coming up. It's been on my mind a lot this week. Just a positive attitude by our coaches. I think I talked to you about that a few weeks back, but that Palestine week, that Monday morning, really we could have gone one of two directions. It could have just caved in on top of us, or we could choose to put what was in the past, learn from it, but don't dwell on it. Sure. I do think that Kilgore loss turned into a second loss against Chapel Hill. Not to take anything away from them, because they did what they were supposed to do, but the way that happened, it wasn't great. That was not a fun weekend. But I'm saying all of that, like, it's just good to be able to embrace the adversity, and I just love how we grew together, and that happened. There's no doubt in my mind that our team came closer together, that our kids, our young men, believed in their coaches. Our coaches continued to just grind it out, and they, like I said, they did it in a very positive way on that Monday and Tuesday to just say, hey, it's in the past. We're rolling. This is Palestine. Let's go. And that's what happened, and I believe that was kind of a turning point for us, and like I said, it could have gone one of two directions. So it was hard to get momentum going this year just because of the Kaufman loss. And then we beat Pine Tree, beat Van, then lose to Gilmer, and then you win a few more at the start of district, and then you have Kilgore, Chapel Hill back to back, so it was just, as far as the momentum and getting people to jump on board, it was different than it had been. But man, I don't know that I'd change anything, so just thankful for the resiliency of our young men, our coaches. And honestly, I've said this all week and just been on my mind. I'm thankful that I get to be called coach. That's just a cool deal. I wouldn't want to do anything else, and I feel like I represent our coaching staff in saying that. It's a cool profession, but coaching here in Lindale makes it even better.
Resiliency, and you talk about coming back. Clint Thurman threw an interception, fumbled twice in the first 8 minutes of the first quarter. Okay, there might not be any player in this district, maybe even this region, that could just turn that around in a matter of seconds, jogging off the field, and it just seems like it sweeps right behind him or so. What in the crap happened at halftime for you guys to where everything just seemed to methodically fall into place that second half?
Yeah, we didn't panic, honestly. That's a cliche answer, but that's just the truth. I mean, there was no panic. There was no flinch. It was just like, hey, we're the better football team here. That half went as well as it possibly could for them and as bad as it possibly could for us. Got off to a bad start, and in my opinion, because of a bad holding call on the second play. I think if that's not called, it's a completely different game. But you know what, Kenny? I'm glad it was called, just because to be able to write the story, and as we continue on, as we're going into this game, like that's a great memory. Those games are the fun ones to talk about. Not that 62-8 is I think they're all fun, but like the way it happened Friday night was a lot of fun for all of us, and so I was really proud. Like you said, Clint, he just keeps on keeping on. That's what he does. He does not get too high, doesn't get too low. He just continues to grind it out, put one foot in front of the other, and he's a great example to our football team, and we've said that since Kaufman. So it was a fun win. Not saying that it was always. There were some. It was tough at times, but we found a way, and I think we grew because of it.
Well, another free play touchdown from Thurman to Moriarty in the game. And I don't know whose idea it was to put the punter back there to run with the football as much as possible. But Wyatt had and I don't even want to say it was a breakout game, but he had more opportunities to shine this past week. What does that mean to your running back core, and how much more are we going to see him carry the ball possibly?
Yeah, I love this, being able to talk about Wyatt, because this is what you want to happen in a football season. You want to see young men grow and develop and become leaders and just basically put the team on their back and say, no, we ain't losing this, And so that was what Wyatt did. He had 13 tackles. He was actually, this has never happened. I've got to say this. He was our offensive player of the week and our defensive player of the week, And
so he gets 2 gift cards this week?
He's going to get $20 from Whataburger, yes. And honestly, he probably could have been the special teams player of the week because the fake punt happened, But we're going to get him the ball more, And it was cool because it was a little bit Sam Peterson-like, the fake, because I didn't call that. He does know that if it's there, you can take it, but by gosh, you better get it,
Well, and he got it by what, about a half a yard?
Half yard, that's exactly right. He did what it took. So, he was really good for us. Everybody loves Wyatt Parker. Our coaches love coaching him. Our players just have the utmost respect for him. It means a whole lot to him, a whole lot. He's got great parents. They've done a really good job raising him, and so it's fun to watch a guy grow and have success as the season goes on.
What's going to be different about this Kilgore football team this week that maybe you had to adjust to what you guys learned in practice the week of the district game?
I think, honestly, they are very similar. Like, the more you look at them, and we've looked at them a lot this week, they're very similar in what they do. I think their plan, they believe in their plan. I think, they're going to get Isaiah Ross the ball a bunch. So for us, our plan is going to change, and we're going to try to get more guys in the box to stop him. And that film was really good for us, just to look at it and say, man, we could have done this better. We could have had our kids lined up better. We didn't really give them a great chance. But we have to tackle better. I mean, we can say all that as coaches, but in the end, if we're there and we're unblocked as players, we got to make the play, and I believe our guys will. We have tried our very best to instill confidence in these young men this week. That was one of the first things that I talked about Monday morning. Was, hey, we're going to play with confidence. We're going to play with the swagger. We're going to play like the team that wants it the most. And I believe we do. I'm sure Clint Fuller would say the same thing about his team, and that's fine. That's good. Got a lot of respect for him, and he's done a great job running that team and that program. But, defensively for them, it's still about their D-line. And so we have ways, I feel like our offensive staff has created ways to run at them. We feel like, we threw it on them really well last time, but we got to find a way to run the football. If you're going to win a game, like this, you got to be able to run it. You got to be able to stop the run, and that's kind of, that's really what it's about.
Well, getting back to thankfulness, because obviously a lot of people celebrated yesterday, but one of the things we always try to focus on are the people that can't, or the people that don't. So many people, even that we know, some people on this team, some people in our school district, people in our city, they don't have the love of family, sitting around a table and meat and vegetables and stuff at their disposal. I got a chance to spend a couple of minutes with your father this past week up in the press box, and it was a real special moment because there's so many of the kids, you're a coach.
Yeah.
You got to do that for a lot of these kids, and you have since you've been a coach, and your coaching staff does the same darn thing. In that same realm, easy for us to be grateful for having our parents or our dad or moms and things around. Is there one thing that stands out for you Thanksgiving each and every year?
Man, it's just family, I could go a bunch of different ways. I've had several reporters ask me about that this week, and I love my wife and my kids. Just the way that God has put us together, and then my parents and the way that they've raised us. We've always been in church, and They've shown us and talked to us a lot about Christ's love for us. Sorry. I love the fact that I get to coach my brother. That's a really cool thing, too, so I'm thankful.
And your father gets to watch you.
That's exactly right. It's fun.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
You betcha. Guys, kickoff just around the corner. We're celebrating Thanksgiving in a very special way this year in 2022. It's Lindale Kilgore coming up next with OnTheCall.net.
You come for the food and you stay for the experience. Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, a mile off Interstate 20 on FM 849 in Lindale. Come hungry because the barbecue portions are generous and the atmosphere is the best in East Texas, including live music on the stage in Hackberry Hall. Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House combines great barbecue, craft beers, signature cocktails, and live music for a one-of-a-kind experience. Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, 15338 FM 849 in Lindale, and on the web at brisketlovetx.com.
If you're looking to advance and improve your baseball or softball skills and overall game with the hopes of moving on to the next level, Marucci Elite East Texas is the premier select organization to do just that. Hi folks, I'm Derek Kraft, current minor league pitcher for the New York Yankees and coach for Marucci Elite. Head coaches Mike Holochuk and Jeff Casey take over 35 years of coaching experience to the field each year, showcasing East Texas's finest baseball and softball talent. Marucci Elite East Texas has proven itself to be the best at directly focusing on player development and the recruitment of its athletes. You can follow them anytime and learn more about Marucci Elite East Texas through Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at METXETX. That's METXETX for Marucci Elite East Texas.
You know, not only is it fun to play this deep into November, it's always fun to play a day game. Welcome back, everybody, to OnTheCall.net and good friends over at AudioSportsOnline.com. Kenny Smith alongside Kevin Simon. Unfortunately, Alan Phillips continues on the injured reserve list this week. Kevin gets a chance to sit in with us. And it's interesting, too, before we get into, setting that up, Kevin, only 2 times you've been this deep in the playoffs, as far as we know, and both times you've been here with us during the Eagles game.
So I think I have something to do with it.
You have a factor within the success of this program.
Hey, man, and I love doing the day games, as you mentioned. I wish the sun was out, but it still feels like football. Cool weather and cloudy outside, so hopefully we get a good game.
Well, let's set that up real quick for you. It is cloudy, 55 right now. We had rain most of the day yesterday around the Tyler area, and it continues to drizzle with some light rain right now. Teams have already done their warm-ups. Cheerleaders, drill teams, and Thing Star Sippers for Lindale are on the field right now. They're prepping for a contest tonight that everybody's been looking forward to, especially to the Lindale community. This will be the second time, like we had mentioned to you before, in 3 years that these two teams will meet each other this deep in the playoffs. Only the second time the Lindale Eagles have got to round 3 in the playoffs. Of course, the last time 2 years ago in their state championship run, which they didn't come out on top of that in the game against Argyle, but they made it all the way to AT&T Stadium for the first time in school history. It is the 4A Division I Region 3 Regional Semi, or Old Campbell Field. Tonight, Kilgore coming in 9-3, Lindale at 8-4. And Kilgore is led by another Ross. As you can't, you'd have to have a 12-chapter book to write the contributions that the Ross family has made to high school football just within this stadium. Isaiah Ross, 221 carries, 2,142 yards, 22 touchdowns. He got 343 of those yards in the meeting against the Lindale Eagles back on October the 7th. They're led by quarterback Demarion Van Zandt, 138 for 224 for 1748. And 16 touchdowns. He's also carried for a little over 100 yards on the season. His main target is P.J. Wiley with 31 grabs. Matthew Tyskie, who caught a couple of touchdowns in their first meeting. He's got 28 catches for 407 yards. Defensively, Kilgore standouts Matthew Hardy leads his team with 89 tackles, but the guy that causes the most problems is right there in the middle, Peyton Christian, with 53 tackles. Now, that doesn't seem like much to compare to Matthew Hardy's 89, but Peyton Christian is humongous. 53 tackles, 9 of those for losses, 2 sacks, but he absolutely just dismembers people when they hit him coming through the line of scrimmage. It is something to be seen. So the Lindale offensive line has got their work cut out for them, but they've been doing it all season long. Clint Thurman, who had a career night against Kilgore back on October 7th as well, earlier this year, The Eagles lost 49-35 behind a career effort by Isaiah Ross, but Clint Thurman had a career night as well, passing for 417 yards and a couple of scores, ran for 78 and a touchdown. Ethan Moriarty had a massive night. He caught 10 of those touches from Clint Thurman, 10 for those for a career-high 147 yards. Kilgore picked up a 65-58 win over the Eagles in 2021, and then, of course, a couple of years ago, Lindale beat Kilgore twice that year. Regular season 38-31, and, of course, 56-42 in that playoff run. Lindale finishes third in 9-4A. They took down Vider in by-district as well as Brazosport in the area round last week, 42-28. Kilgore finished second in 9-4A, taking out Little Cypress Mauriceville 28-6, and then El Campo last week. From what we'd heard of from the Kilgore announcers, that game was not as close as it looked. They pick up a 34-20 win, and to get both teams to this point now in a 14-week-old season. The winner of this game is going to face another familiar foe, 9-4A champion Chapel Hill, if they can get by 10-4A champion Lumberton. Rose Stadium tonight opened back in 1942. It's been historic for a long time, the home of Earl Campbell, thus Earl Campbell Field. And anytime that guy walks through the door, everyone should stand for as long as he's in the stadium, we think. It's got partially renovated 4 years ago, much to mine and Kevin's delight as he added a new press box, ticket booths and multiple gates, and the new locker rooms and the Hellas Matrix Helix artificial turf got added just 2 seasons ago. Stadium holds a capacity 10,566 spectators, and we will probably get about half of that full throughout the night tonight, even though the Lindale side is almost packed as of right now. Now, looking at what we've seen thus far, Kevin, and what you've watched on film, obviously this is going to be a nice running game afternoon of football here with Isaiah Ross on one side, Clint Thurman, Patrick Daniels, and of course now Wyatt Parker, who's worked his way into the platooning now of running backs. Who is this going to favor, Kevin? You got a little bit of a wet turf. You got Isaiah Ross, whole different runner than Lindale has.
Yeah, this turf, I mean, these days it's not the same kind of turf I played back on in the early 80s. One stadium up in Garland, well, that was the worst turf ever. But these turf fields are so good, really. Aside from a torrential downpour, it really doesn't favor anybody. It favors the team that can run the football, and both of these teams can run the football. Lindale's a little bit better at running the football than Kilgore, but they're both right there. So if you can, again, be able to run the football, and we expect Lindale and Kilgore to do that, you can have an effective night.
Well, looking down on the field, once again, clouds will be with us all afternoon long. They've also got an evening game coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll look over the schedule of other games after our national anthem tonight. National anthem again played spectacularly from the Lindale Eagle, the Fighting Eagle Marching Band tonight. The Lindale Eagles are going to be the home team tonight. So we're on the home press box side. Kilgore Bulldogs are the visitors tonight. They're wearing their white tops, white pants, red numerals, and their almost dark red helmets. Their helmets are like fire engine red. They're pretty bright. Lindale Eagles are wearing their blue jerseys, blue pants, white helmets with the Eagle insignia inside a state of Texas outline with their numbers on the right side of their helmets. As captains walking out, Christian King will join arm in arm with Will Hutchins and also with Levi Thornton, your captains tonight for the Lindale Eagles. And for Kilgore, it'll be P.J. Wiley along with Peyton Christian. It'll be the nicest Peyton's going to be tonight. Is going out for the coin toss. Adrian Franklin, one of the captains for Kilgore as well, and we'll get the fourth one here as soon as Will Hutchins moves his large shoulders out of the way. As coin toss going on right inside the Rose, in the middle of Rose Stadium. The Lindale Eagles will move to the south side of the stadium. Kilgore will move to the north side of the stadium, and the referee, Wes Hall, will tap Lindale on the shoulder and say Lindale has won the toss, and they've elected to receive the football. They'll be going from right to left to start off this ball game, and Kilgore going left to right and shaking hands at the Rose. And here we go, the Lindale Eagles and Kilgore Bulldogs, round 3 of the 2022 high school football playoffs. Kevin Simon, what do you look for, first of all, offensively for this football team? They had so much of a mixture, first quarter notwithstanding last week, but a mixture of plays we saw second quarter, and, of course, second half, a whole different ball team.
Yeah, they turned the football over in their first 3 possessions, but after that, they scored 6 straight touchdowns on the next 6 possessions. So, again, the offensive line started to dominate that game, and they were able to run the football to the tune of about 322 yards. They have to run the football. I'd like to see them get off to a quick start. Can't dig themselves a hole as they did in the first meeting between these two teams. So defensively, of course, they have to find a way to contain Isaiah Ross, who busted loose for about 343 and 3 touchdowns in their first meeting.
Yeah, it's not like he busted loose for 190 or for 209.
Yeah.
343 is
that's a lot of yards.
Yeah, it's a big last 4 meetings between Kilgore and Lindale. The winning team scored at least 38 points. And, of course, earlier this year it was a 49-35 win for Kilgore. And that was at Lindale. So the Eagles have got a little more motivation as they will be backed up to the right, Kilgore to the left. Cloudy skies, 55 degrees at game time. And round 3, regional semi, is underway. Here's it Geary, will kick it, it'll be short. It'll come down at the 14-yard line. Taken by Daniel, straight up the middle, gets a crease at the 30, and all the way up to the 35. A great return coming near side. And right down the middle, I think it's going to be Marcus Field with the return. Across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Ball on the far hash mark, so the wide side of the field will be near side. Let's set up the offense for Lindale. It's familiar front 5. Trey Maserati starts off every play at center. Will Hutchins and Brandon Petway, your 2 guards. Casey Poe at the left tackle. Ethan Heller at the right. Receivers, Landon Sullivan. Of course, Alex Romero, Marcus Field, Ethan Moriarty. Wyatt Parker will start up in the backfield along with quarterback Clint Thurman. We'll look over his numbers here shortly. Tight set. Man in motion is Field. Inside handoff fake. It'll be Clint Thurman keeping it. Off the right tackle. Picks up good yardage as he'll follow a couple of blockers up ahead all the way to the 40-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry.
That's a good start on the return and a good starting field position for the Eagles to go to work, and a good play on first down.
Well, they got a good kick return also from Marcus Field. And they have been back and forth with even getting an opportunity at a kick return. Clint Thurman with dual receivers to the right. Turns around, hands off Wyatt Parker. No fake. He's going to get rushed. Looking to throw downfield. Will finally throw to a receiver down incomplete. As Moriarty was the intended receiver across midfield. Clint Thurman got rushed coming to the right side, or coming to the left side. Turned, set his feet, and finally found a receiver that was not open very long. Good defensive play by Dadrian Franklin. They'll set up quickly. 3rd and 6. Landon Sullivan will now bounce into the backfield. Ball far hash. Thurman with the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw right. He's going to throw right up the right sideline. Got a man downfield and reaching up with one arm and can't make the catch, and then getting shoved out of bounds. So 3 and out for Lindale as the long pass play attempt to Moriarty, doing a fly route just up the right sideline, goes awry.
Yeah, a little bit of a missed opportunity there for the Eagles. They are not able to capitalize on that good kickoff return. They'll punt it away. Good job by Kilgore's defense.
Well, and I do like the fact, Kevin, that Clint Thurman was getting rushed through the pass without any problem at all, even with that rush in his face.
Bought himself some time.
4th down and 6. Wyatt Parker, who had a absolutely key fake punt last week that kept them in this ball game, will roll to his right. Now he will kick it end over end. And it bounces at the 28-yard line and rolls and will roll dead at the 23. Kilgore will get the ball for their first time. Lindale defense looks like this. Gabe Hart, your nose guard. Carson Plunkett and Christian King, your 2 tackles. Linebackers, of course, it's a good one. Jake Kerbo, Wyatt Parker, Ryan Stanton. That's your top 3 tacklers on this football team. Hudson LeGros, your rover, who will get inside and then sometimes will break all the way back to a safety spot. Aiden Warnell and Levi Thornton, your 2 safeties. Corners, Michael Shannon and Jalen Hines are solid, but they have got receivers that they have not seen since the last time they played Kilgore and Chapel Hill this afternoon. So Van Zandt sets him up. Demarion Van Zandt hands off first man through, and Ross will get stopped for maybe no gain. As immediately Kilgore goes to the run to the left side, and they stop him for nothing.
Yeah, Lindale's going to have to be great at tackling today, and including some gang tackling to again, slow Ross down. They do a good job on first down.
Well, Isaiah Ross, who'd had massive numbers all season long. Ross, once again, 21-42 on the season. But the thing that will scare you after a while, averaging 10 yards a touch.
Yeah.
So Ross sets up to the right side of Van Zandt. Ball on the far hash, wide side of the field, near side. Van Zandt turns around, hands off Ross, going to try left side again, bounces outside, 25-30, works a block, 35-40, 45, midfield, still on his feet, one man to beat and trying to get him out of bounds, and they're going to blow it dead. He may have ran out of bounds way back at the 45-yard line. Lindale catches a break there on the tackle attempt because Wyatt Parker was the only man between him and the end zone.
Well, the end lost containment on that play and allowed Ross to bounce it outside and around him and upfield. They're lucky he stepped out of bounds, but that's a big run and a big play anyway.
31-yard gain for Isaiah Ross. Boy, you hoped you could contain him at least for the first series, get some confidence for this defense, but he breaks loose on that far side, the short side of the field. Ball far hash again. Kilgore left to right, no score. Kilgore's first possession. Snap back. Van Zandt hands off to Ross again. He breaks loose again. Breaks two tackles. 35. Up to the 30. Inside the 30. They'll mark him down at the 29-yard line. And the same thing that they had difficulty with last time, Kevin. You already mentioned it. Yep. They got to make tackles.
Yeah, got to be better at tackling than they've been all season long to slow Ross down. And so far, they've missed some tackles.
I think you and I have gotten hoarse talking over the years about the basic tackling technique is gone anymore.
Yeah, because they don't practice. They don't do a lot of hitting in practice anymore. No. So the art of tackling has gone downhill.
Yes, it has. 1st and 10. That's back-to-back first downs for the Bulldogs. They'll set up trips receivers to the right. Snap back. Van Zandt's going to throw it. Flares it out. Complete. 30, 25, 20. Up the corner to the sideline. 10-5 and busted out of bounds at the 4-yard line. But it's a completion to Matthew Teiske, who hurt the Eagles earlier in this season. And Teiske with a humongous reception and gets it inside the 5-yard line to the 3.
That's a well-blocked swing pass that time. He took a big hit at the end of it, but that's after a big run after the big catch, and they nearly got into the end zone.
Well, 31-yard run, then a 25-yard completion to Teiske, and it sets up the Kilgore Bulldogs. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. So 1st and goal from the 3, 9:31 to go in this first quarter. 3 and out for the Lindale Eagles, and Kilgore under center is Van Zandt. Turns around, hands off. Second man through is Ross. Ross gets bunched up, breaks the tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Kilgore. Well, a stern and very loud opening drive for the Kilgore Bulldogs as they take it right down the field, methodically or not. But two big gainers, of course, two big run by Ross for 31, and that 25-yard completion did him in.
Yeah, and the Eagles did a good job of contacting Ross, but simply couldn't bring him down. A couple of more broken tackles en route to the end zone.
Well, 9:26, Kilgore scores within the first 3 minutes of the ball game. Izagira is up and good with the extra point. Quick 7-0 lead for Kilgore. 9:26 to go. When we come back, Lindale Eagle football continues on thecall.net.
Alford's Tire, Brake, and Alignment is going all in with the 2022 Lindale Eagles. Safety first is not only common sense when it comes to your transportation, it should be the top priority anytime it comes to the overall protection of your family. Safety checks on your basic brake and tire conditions or need for maintenance on your AC system is paramount during the heat of a 2022 summer. Alford's Tire, Brake, and Alignment puts the entire family name behind making sure you stay stress-free on the road year-round. You'll find tire replacements for all size tires, even lawn mowers. Lift kits and auto accessories are installed right there, and in some cases, while you wait. Alford's Tire, Brake, and Alignment, Highway 69, 4 miles south of I-20 in Tyler. AlfordsBrakeandAlignment.com.
Back at Old Campbell Field, Christus Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium, in the booth that Billy Ray built, better known as the Root Construction Press Box tonight. Welcome back, Kenny Smith, Kevin Simon, Stuart Campion, scoring drive, KS.
5 plays, 77 yards, 1 minute and 42 seconds.
1:42.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
Nope, you certainly don't want that with those big plays. Kilgore kicks off. Will be short again, taken by Field at the 15-yard line. Takes it to the right, back up the middle, gets popped at the 20. 7, and then surges forward across the 30 again with a good return, this time up to the 32-yard line. And Lindale Eagle offense back on the football field. 3 and out last time, couple of incompletions. Good run by Clint Thurman to start things off with a 4-yard run off the right side, and then a couple of incompletions. Lindale not yet got enough plays in them to kind of get their sync back.
Yeah, and again, you don't want to dig yourself a hole, especially against this football team. So we'll see if they can get something going here.
Set up dual receivers to the left, one to the right. Handoff, Patrick Daniels coming near side, cuts it upfield to the 30, cross the 30 to the 35. They'll actually mark him down at the 34-yard line. And Kevin, one thing that we saw with this game last time, and we've already seen it, is the animosity between these two teams. Quick snap. Clint Thurman's going to take it himself. Keeper across the 40. Breaks the tackle across the 40 and rolls out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Well, there's the Clint Thurman that's been damaging teams all season long, all the way up to the 45, 1st and 10 Lindale, and they'll go quickly. Lindale's first down, Clint Thurman with Daniels to his left. They'll take a pause glance to the sideline near side. Lindale with a sea of blue. It's an 11-yard pickup by Thurman for the first down. And they'll set up Landon Sullivan to the right, tight end set. Dual receivers to the right, single to the left. Looking to the middle of the field, he throws, complete the field to the midfield, breaks the tackle. Midfield all the way up to the 46-yard line. Nice patience by really Marcus Field, Kevin, as he really just kind of sat down right there at midfield and waited for his quarterback.
A couple of good moves by Field as well to free himself to get upfield for good yardage.
Picks up 9 on the catch. Handoff Patrick Daniels. Flag is down immediately after the snap of the ball. Daniels gets the first down. They're going to stop the clock as if his penalty is against the defense. They'll be moving the football, but that flag came in quickly.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a substitution penalty. We'll get the call. Looks like it's against Kilgore.
Well, that's exactly what it's going to be, Kevin.
Call offside.
They're going to call it offsides this time. Wes Hall and his officiating crew. So they'll take that penalty. Patrick Daniels got enough for the first down, but they'll nullify that run, and they'll take the 5-yard penalty. First flag. Kilgore is probably one of the least penalized teams in this district all season long. Only 38 penalties all year. 8:07 to go first quarter. 7-0 Kilgore. Lindale with their second possession. Handoff, first man through, Wyatt Parker, and he is absolutely stonewalled. He gets pulled down 2 yards deep in the backfield. Tackle made by Victor Fernandez.
Yeah, Fernandez is a big guy, tough to block, and he broke through and made a good tackle that time for their defense.
See, the average waffle intake of the front three of this Kilgore defense
that's a lot of waffles.
Has got to be 3 a day. They have got some size, but the Lindale offensive line has been solid all year. Trips receivers to the right side. Lone setback, Landon Sullivan will now set up strong left. Handoff, Wyatt Parker again. Bounces off a tackle, stays on his feet, turning his legs up to the 40, across the 40, up to the 37-yard line. Nice run by Wyatt as he has gotten more and more carries here in the last couple of games, showing a lot of presence and power in that backfield.
Yeah, Wyatt had 116 on the ground on 5 carries last week, 2 touchdowns, so that's an average of about 23 yards a carry.
Well, they set up a 3rd and 7 at the 37-yard line. They'll switch, go double tight end set now. Now they'll switch back and set Sullivan to a strong left position. Clint Thurman will follow Patrick Daniels into the hole, still on his feet, brings the tackle across the 30, and Thurman somehow always gets it done. It looks like he's tackled, and then all of a sudden nobody has got him wrapped up. He gets so close to a blocker, Kevin, you can't put your arms around it.
Yeah, that's confidence in your run game.
First down, Lindale Eagles. Thurman, keeper again, left side, follow blocker, cross the 20, inside the 20 to the 18. Brandon Petway got into the second tier of defenders of Kilgore and gave Clint Thurman some extra room. They're going to play quickly. Thurman sets him up, snap back, handoff. Patrick Daniels left side. Big hole for Patrick. Across the 15 to the 12, first down Eagles.
Well, the offensive line is getting it done in the trenches. A good push, and again, confidence in your run game, and you can run it on 3rd and long.
They're working this front 5 of the Lindale offense. Snap back, Thurman, handoff. Patrick Daniels left side. He'll get stopped at the 10, but surges across the 10, and the linesman will sit him down at the 9-yard line. Well, they got across the 9. They're going to give him 4 on the carry. And, boy, a nice drive, and it was a quick one by Kilgore and Lindale trying to answer with a drive of their own, playing fast. Snap back, Thurman, free play, going to throw it up for grabs in the end zone, going up and trying to pull it down, and cannot do so as Marcus Field, as defended on the play by Jaden Sanders, knocks it out of his hands. Good defensive play.
Yeah, Sanders nearly came down with the interception there. Dangerous pass on a fade route to the corner of the end zone. Didn't work out that time.
Well, they snapped it so fast, Kevin. I thought that was a free play. As Thurman took the snap and just threw the ball up in the near corner. 3rd and 7 from the 9-yard line. Switching sides, Christian Weidman back in slot right. Thurman turns around, fakes the handoff, has to move inside a rusher. We'll throw it to the outside, and we'll throw it outside the hands of Christian Weidman as that play just blew up from the word go as Clint Thurman turned around. He was going to try to roll to his right, but got stopped by a defender and had to just throw it away.
Yeah, Isaiah Waters was in the backfield in a hurry and in the face of the quarterback Thurman at time. As soon as he turned around, really had to just unload the football and save the yardage.
Well, Seth Baggett will set up, and he's going to spot his holder down, Clint Thurman, at the 16-yard line. So it'll be a 26-yard attempt by Baggett. Kick is up, and the three-pointer's up and good. So Seth Baggett with the 26-yard field goal gets Lindale on the scoreboard. 7-3 Eagles when we come back. Lindale Eagle football continues with OnTheCall.net.
You know that old saying that a man's number one job is to protect his family? Well, that's exactly what my dad had in mind when he founded Beeler Roofing in the late 1970s. Well, now it's 2022, and it's still the backbone of why Beeler Roofing continues to take care of families and businesses' new roofs, full roof replacements, and even simple roof repairs. We still welcome a good old personal phone call to set up a free roof assessment, and we take a lot of pride and enjoyment from making our customers feel better about being home. Plus, we can even help you navigate the insurance process. This is Brooks Beeler, Lindale class 1989, and very proud to support your Lindale Eagles again this year. Find us on the web at BeelerRoofing.com or call us at 903-347-8484. Beeler Roofing, our family protecting your family from the top down for over 40 years.
Well, a season long of 39. He was nowhere close to that, and he made it good. Seth Baggett with a 26-yarder puts Lindale on the board. 7-3 is our score. Kilgore of Lindale, 5:32 to go in the first period. Baggett now 6 of 7 on field goal attempts, and 54 of 56 on extra points. Kick is going to be a pooch kick coming down in a hole right around the 23, taken by Kilgore, and straight up the middle. Got one man to beat it, Seth Baggett, and he will beat him. It'll be Dadrian Franklin, who will take it back 70 yards for the kick return touchdown. And no flags on the field, and my apologies, that's going to be a return of 70 yards. Taken right just short of the 30-yard line, or past the 30. So I think Phil Hicks will be the only one to tell us officially how far that is, but I think that's going to be closer to a 72-yard kick return by Dadrian Franklin. Did I get my numbers right there somewhere?
Yeah, but I think you turned off my microphone. I think we're good now. But, yeah, in a hurry, that's a well-blocked kickoff return that time for Kilgore. I don't think it was untouched en route to the end zone.
Well, Franklin will come right back. Kilgore will get extra points by Izagira, and they immediately answer. 5:21 to go. We'll get both scoring updates when we get a little bit more time when we come back. 5:21 to go first quarter. 14-3 Kilgore. We return. Lindale Eagle football continues with OnTheCall.net.
Hey, Doc Deason here, Lindale class of 1990 with Real Edge Real Estate in Tyler. You can find me online at DocDeasonRealEstate.com. You know, after this summer, anything associated with fall is going to be welcome throughout the season, especially Lindale High School football. It's an honor for me to again partner with my friend of 30 years, your play-by-play man, Kenny Smith. There's nothing in this country quite like Texas high school football, and you need to know we're partaking in a legendary pastime right now. But when the game's over, if you need some help with real estate, give me a shout. Don't hesitate. 903-262-8680. That's 262-8680. Again, I'm fellow Eagle Doc Deason. Thanks for listening.
Thanks so much, Doc Deason. Doc's actually joining us for our broadcast tonight, down sitting with Joe Bethany. Joe and Lisa have got a daughter that's a cheerleader for the Eagles, so he gets a chance to watch some high school football playoff games live to you from the Root Construction Press box, Rose Stadium, Earl Campbell Field. Kilgore will kick off now. They're going to try an onside kick. It'll be covered up by a couple of blue jerseys. I think it'll be Ryan Stanton that falls on it. And Kilgore almost trying to, take something out of the Lindale playbook right there. Tried an onside kick after a kick return, and Ryan Stanton decided to, special teams doesn't always give up a touchdown.
Well, it's good starting field position. Let's go with that Lindale scoring drive. That was 11 plays, 72 yards, 3 minutes and 48 seconds. And then Franklin of Kilgore returns the favor, a 72-yard kickoff return for the touchdown.
And how long did that take?
It didn't take long.
According to my stats, it took 11 seconds. So I appreciate if you'd finish your job after a while,
My bad.
Devin Daniels checks in. He will stand at the right side of Clint Thurman. And trips receivers to the right side, nobody to the short side of the field, or ball's right in the middle of the field. Clint Thurman's going to follow Devin Daniels in the hole off the right tackle, trying to break a tackle across midfield, and he works his way to the 47-yard line. So Clint again for 4 yards. And Kevin, I know you see a lot more high school football here, but Clint Fuller, they a lot of times want to call plays from like the field. Snap back. Thurman's going to drop the snap and almost throws it into the hands of Jaden Sanders. Had Sanders looked up any sooner, he could have had a pick six there.
Yeah, that ball just got away from Thurman that time. Not sure if it slipped out of his hands, but again, they're lucky to still have the football.
Well, incomplete pass by Thurman will go out of bounds, and I think they're glad to have an incomplete pass. Clint, 1 for 6 for 9 yards right now in this first half. 4:59 to go. It's a 14-3 lead for Kilgore after the big kick return by Franklin. Snap back. Thurman wants to throw immediately. He's got some protection. Then he gets rushed and knocks over a tackler. Still on his feet. Breaks the tackle at the 45. Across the 40 to the 38. There's just times Clint Thurman wills his way to get away from anybody on the other team.
Yeah, it's a lot of fighting. Thurman, a lot of fighting his football team. He should have been stopped for a loss of yardage. Instead, he picks up a first down.
1st and 10 Eagles. Snap back. Thurman turns around, hands off Devin Daniels. Soft right side. Devin with a 2, maybe 3 yards up to the 35-yard line. And again, there's times it looks like the Kilgore Bulldog defense is accustomed to grabbing an opponent and not taking him to the ground. First of all, just trying to rip his jersey off and then trying to, take an arm.
They're a little feisty on that side
I think
of the
they
ball.
are.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, the Eagles have learned early in this ball game they can move the football on the ground against this defense.
Devin Daniels for 3. Taking a look behind, over to the sideline. Wyatt Parker now behind Clint Thurman. Marcus Field, lone receiver to the left, duels to the right. Moriarty split out to the right. Handoff Wyatt Parker. Parker gets hit up high and taken down after about a yard gain. And again, tackled by Jackson Harris right there.
3rd and long coming up for the Eagles. Not a given that they'll throw the football here. They converted a 3rd and long on the ground last time around.
Well, Clint's looking for a little confidence through the air. Snap back, going to try to throw it quickly. He'll wait. He'll pump fake. Now he'll reverse his field. Nothing but white jerseys everywhere. And they will take him down back at the 37-yard line. Kilgore will officially get a sack, but boy, Clint was waiting for his receiver to check up. Marcus Field, I think, took a jerk towards the inside, but instead of going upfield, just stayed his position.
Yeah, we'll call that a coverage sack as Thurman couldn't find an open receiver. Had time. The offensive line did a good job to give him protection, just couldn't find an open receiver.
Well, they're going to have to send in Wyatt Parker to see if they can pin the Kilgore Bulldogs. 14 punts on the season. He's averaging close to 40 yards along of 56. And he's had 4 inside the 20. He'd like to maybe thwart a return possibility here. He's got 4 split wide to the left side. Parker with the high snap will roll to his right. Now he will kick it in traffic and kicks it pretty darn deep. It'll go into the end zone after hitting right at the 1-yard line. So he will not get that touchback, or not get that one inside the 20 as he had hoped. They'll give Kilgore the football back, as the Bulldogs have got 1 offensive touchdown and 1 special teams touchdown. As well, those are always the daggers. Other games going on around the area this afternoon and tonight as well. Longview Lobos and Port Arthur Memorial playing at Lufkin's Abe Martin Stadium at 7 o'clock tonight. Chapel Hill and Lumberton, of course, in New Caney at 7 o'clock tonight. Van Zant brings them back out. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Strong right with a tight end set up. Handoff Ross coming near side. A huge hole coming outside to the 30, 35, 40. Busting back inside. Levi Thornton will slow him down for some teammate help. It'll be an inside handoff this time to Matthew Teiske with the reverse and the big gainer.
Can't block it any better than that, as the Kilgore had everybody accounted for on the Eagle defense. Well, Blott can't do it much better than that. Again, they're lucky that he didn't take that one a distance.
Yeah, that time it's D.D. Williams who's wearing number 9, Tysky at number 8. So D.D. Williams gets his first carry of the night. D.D. Williams only 2 carries on the season for 64 yards, but he's averaging 32 yards a gain. He almost got all of that right there. I reckon it's exactly what he got, 32 yards. Snap back Van Zandt, fakes the handoff, going to throw it up the sideline, got a man wide open, caught. Ross catches it across the 30 up to the 28-yard line, I believe. And Ross will throw the ball back in. A linesman is not set up yet. Well, linesman's going to give him a crazy good spot, is they'll give him to the 27-yard line. So he will take it from the 48 to the 27, make that a 21-yard reception to Isaiah Ross up the near sideline, and Kilgore back in business after back-to-back first downs.
Yeah, great pass by Van Zandt, right on the money to Ross that time for good yardage.
Well, both teams with 5 first downs in this first quarter. 2:09 to go, Kilgore up 14-3. Van Zandt with Ross to his right. Slot back, handoff to Ross going far side. Will hit the hole and caught from behind in a fantastic tackle. And we see this all season long. It's either Jake Curbo or Carson Plunkett making a great pursuit tackle from behind.
Yeah, it's a great job, as you mentioned. They're going to have to be great at tackling today, and that time they were. This is an important series for the Eagle defense.
Carson Plunkett is the one that caught up with Isaiah Ross that particular time, stops him for only a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 at the 25-yard line of the Lindale Eagles. Kilgore going left to right, dual receivers. To the left, Zaylen Stoker, who is dangerous, is far out to the left. Got dual setbacks. Van Zandt takes a snap, play action. We'll throw it middle of the field, way up high, caught at the 7-yard line. And it'll be complete to P.J. Wiley. Wiley takes the grab. They're going to mark him down at the 5-yard line.
Hit him on a quick slant that time as Wiley climbed the ladder to go and get that high pass, but it's another first down. Wiley, their leading receiver, 526 on the season. And 5 touchdowns.
Well, that's a 20-yard completion to Wiley up at the 5. First and goal from the 5. P.J. Wiley, the leading receiver on this football team, 31 for 526 and 5 touchdowns. Van Zandt will set up under center. Got his up back blocker, Aubrey Saylor, turns around, hands off to Ross, bounces outside, missed tackle at the 5, and down at the 4, maybe the 2-yard line that time. And Bulldog down right there at the 2-yard line by Jake Curbo. Make that Michael Shannon with the tackle there at the 2.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned another missed tackle. Probably should have stopped him 2 yards short of where he was able to get to, but another missed tackle by this defense.
Well, as you know, Kevin, there are times that there's running backs that are just, by golly, they're just hard to bring down.
Yeah.
Walter Payton was 5'0", and nobody could tackle him after a while. So set up with the up back. In the eye, and the deep eye is Ross. Turn around, hand off to Ross. Ross straight up the middle, gets busted at the 2-yard line, knocked back to the 4. They'll give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage at the 2. So Ross for no gain in that time. At least they got the Lindale fan base up and excited. First quarter will come to a close. It is a 14-3 lead for the Kilgore Bulldogs after 1. Round 3 of the high school football playoffs, 4A-wise. And the second quarter coming up next on thecall.net.
Backing the Lindale Football Eagles now as he did back then. Eagle Chiropractic is owned and operated by former Lindale Eagles center, Dr. Shane Allen. A class of 1989 graduate, Dr. Allen is an expert in chiropractic and nutritional health counseling. His expertise in these areas assist him in helping patients reduce and even eliminate migraine headaches, neck pain, back pain, and joint pain of all levels, both acute and chronic. Eagle Chiropractic offers therapeutic exercises, nutritional supplements, and analgesic creams, along with educational consultations and follow-up to assure continued support and confidence in a healthy lifestyle that is pain-free. Eagle Chiropractic, Highway 69 in Lindale, open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturdays. Call for an appointment and consultation at 903-881-5172. Eagle Chiropractic, making people better every day.
Back at Christus Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium in Tyler, Texas, a dreary, cloudy afternoon, but we do get to play afternoon football in round 3 of the playoffs. 2 local teams, Kilgore and Lindale. Tonight in the Root Construction press box, Kenny Smith, Kevin Simon, Stuart Campion, Kilgore have set themselves up on a 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. We will switch sides to start of the second quarter. 14-3 lead for the Bulldogs.
Van Zant with Ross to his left. Saylor set up strong left. Van Zant looks like a quarterback keeper. He's going to hand off to Ross straight up the middle. Stopped at the goal line, and the ball comes out, but they're going to say it's a touchdown. Well, the ball came out just as Isaiah Ross, I think, crossed the goal line. The ball popped straight up in the air, and I think the Lindale coaching staff are looking for some timing issues here, but they're not going to get the call. Touchdown Kilgore. And they will stretch their lead to 20-3 now as the second quarter just underway.
Yeah, that's a big score. Again, they're going to stretch it out to 3-score lead early in this ball game, and with the extra point coming.
And Izagirre sets up. Extra point is up, and it's good. And just like that, we come back. Second quarter underway. One play, 2 yards for Isaiah Ross. Touchdown, Kilgore. 21-3 Bulldogs, and we come back. Lindale Eagle football continues with OnTheCall.net.
The summer of 2022 has been tough on everyone, especially those that were without a top-performing HVAC system. Rose City Air was created by Will Decker and Heath Willingham after they experienced plenty of too little, too late scenarios, with 2 objectives in mind: service and educate consumers on the most efficient ways to maintain a healthy AC unit correctly the first time and eliminate the anxiety of second and third opinions and repairs. Rose City Air takes the time to show you the complexities of maintaining a top-notch HVAC system while the estimate and assessment is being done. Rose City Air's free estimates, 24-hour no-hassle emergency services, low-cost maintenance agreements, and discounts for veterans, first responders, and educators are why Rose City Air wants to service your home or business whenever the need arises. 903-630-4343 or go to rosecityairtx.com.
21-3 Kilgore. Start of the second period. Kilgore will kick off now. Lindale just has not had the football enough to get any rhythm at all on offense. So Izagirre will kick it off. It'll be high and deep this time. Taken at the 1-yard line. Patrick Daniels coming near side looking for a hole. Gets one. Gets popped up high around the helmet and just stops him. He started to go parallel. And, boy, Kevin, that's just almost danger if you're that deep in your own field and trying to go parallel to get around somebody.
Well, it's great kick coverage that last scoring drive for Kilgore. 7 plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes, and 59 seconds. Ross, who had 3 touchdowns in the first meeting, already has 2.
Well, first, Ross right now 3 carries, 48 yards total. His next 5 carries, only 10 yards, but one of those goes for the 2-yard touchdown run. 11:47, Lindale Eagles get the football back. They've moved the football pretty well the last couple of drives, but have just not been able to capitalize before they had to punt. And in motion going right to left. Handoff Parker. Parker runs into his own man, but gets some good yardage across the 15 up to the 18-yard line. He'll pick up 4 yards. They've got a man switching sides as Corey Watts will set up in a tight end position and then head over in motion to switch sides to go to the strong side.
Again, they're able to run the football. 4 yards may not seem like much, but you'll take that every time. And didn't look like much at the beginning, but positive yardage on the play.
Well, Wyatt has not had a chance to really break through that line of scrimmage. Fakes handoff, play action pass. Clint Thurman rolling to his left, now comes back to his right, looking for an open receiver. Now will set up, just take off running. Got a lot of blue jerseys, but I think the offensive line did not know he was coming towards them. He barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up 1. By the time he thought about taking off running, Kevin, boy, his guys, he ran right up on his offensive line.
Well, the Bulldogs are doing a great job in coverage, and once again, Thurman couldn't find an open receiver, had to basically swallow the football.
Well, these defenders are a lot faster than the receivers are being able to get through them. They're so dang athletic on the outsides at Kilgore. Now long play call for the Lindale Eagles, getting everybody set. Alex Romero checking in, set up in the right side in the slot position. Coming in motion is Field, coming across, faking the handoff, and whistle blows. Timeout Lindale. Play clock got down to about 5, and they just looked out of position. I don't even think Alex Romero was really ready to go. And finally, Chris Cochran has to call a timeout with 10:29 to go in this first half.
Yeah, again, the Eagles just need to get on the same page. They're backed up basically against their own end zone here on 3rd down. They want to get the right play in and make sure they have the right people in position.
Well, Kilgore came in really firing on all cylinders, very confident. But, man, when you've got a top quarterback and a guy like Isaiah Ross, you don't You don't have to do very much, Kevin, but just start handing the ball off and watch the yardage start to build.
And that's basically what they do. I mean, he's not a one-man wrecking crew, but he's pretty close. You know, he can put up some big numbers, as you mentioned, 21-42 on the ground throughout the season.
Well, we just didn't want to see another 343 performance.
Yeah, if that's you can't have that happen.
No.
It's going to be a tough hill to climb if you allow that to happen. And as it stands, they're still off to a pretty good start.
Well, the Eagles in blue are just looking for some positiveness on offense to build up that confidence. Other games going on around the area. Carthage and Gilmer, of course, the marquee game tonight, 6 o'clock, Longview's Lobo Stadium in 4A Division II. Malakoff and West will be playing in Corsicana 7:30 tonight in 3A Division I. as well. Out of the timeouts, Thurman snap back by himself. He's going to throw short, caught at the 24-yard line and immediately buried by Dadrian Franklin. And boy, you will never be able to say nobody on Kilgore has any confidence in tackling. As they're finally going to move the sticks.
Yeah, it took a while.
I was waiting as the completed pass. It'll be a completion right on top of the first down mark at the 24-yard line. And they finally moved the chains. Thurman with the keeper. Going to move to his right. Breaks the tackle across the 30. Clint Thurman again with a big gainer. He takes it 10 yards for the first down. He needed 10. He got 10.
Another tough run by Thurman that time. Well blocked to the right side of the formation. Took a couple of big hits, but still able to move the chains.
Well, we'll check on the completion as soon as we can find out. It was over at the Marcus Field sideline. But here we go, 1st and 10. Thurman with dual setbacks in the slot. He's going to follow the blocker, breaks into the inside 40, breaks the tackle at the 45, midfield, still running, still on his feet. Dragon 3, Kilgore Bulldogs across the 40 to the 38-yard line. That is what really motivates this football team and this crowd, is when Clint Thurman gets in the open field. This guy has no speed, Kevin. But he has got moves, and he has got such tenacity and desire to gain yardage. It's just fun to watch.
Yeah, just a great job of following his lead blocker through the hole, and again, a tough run.
1st and 10 and timeout this time will be charged against Kilgore. 9:06 to go, 21-3 Kilgore. We come back. Lindale Eagle football continues with OnTheCall.net.
A showroom almost as big as a football field. Really? Office Barn in Tyler.
A ridiculous amount of inventory at Office Barn. New and gently used office furniture.
More desks than the Pentagon.
Any style of desk imaginable. Desk as low as $50.
Office chairs.
Over 1,000 chairs in stock of all kinds from $20 to $2,000.
Conference room tables.
Biggest selection of new and used conference tables we've had in a long time.
Low cubicle prices.
Really stylish cubicles and workstations with space planning, delivery, and install.
Office Barn in Tyler.
We ship anywhere with next day delivery in East Texas. Buy it in the box and save even more. Discounts for nonprofits, veterans, and first responders.
Between Tyler and Lindale on Highway 69. Across from the big American flag.
Call or text us. It's the same number, 903-881-0340.
Office Barn in Tyler.
Office Barn.
Thank you, John Longcrier and the Office Barn, taking care of us throughout the season. 9:06 to go first half. 21-3 Kilgore. Lindale on the move right now. 1st and 10. Thurman takes a snap. Will keep it himself, looking for blockers. Cuts up field 35. And that's about all he's going to get. 3 yards across the 35 to the 34-yard line. Thurman just kind of taking it on himself right now and seeing what he can do.
Well, it's been the Eagles' best play of the first half. The keeper by the quarterback. Now, Kilgore did a better job of defending it there.
Well, Clint right now has got a bulk of the carries, 11 carries, 89 yards right now on the night. 2nd and 7 from the 34-yard line. Set up with Patrick Daniels now. Set up behind Clint Thurman now. Will change the play. Glances back to Daniels. Hands off. Daniels coming right side off. Tackle, big yardage, crossing the 30. And Daniels hooks up across the 30 to the 28-yard line. And again, a lot of activity in that defensive backfield on these downfield blocks, Kevin. We're just waiting for this officiating crew to kind of get enough of the extracurricular. And I guess everybody's just in a good mood. They're playing afternoon football.
That's right. I love afternoon football. But, again, the Eagles have learned that they can run the football. They just have to finish off this possession.
Well, Root Construction press box, 3rd and 1. From the 28-yard line, snap back, keeper. Thurman's going to keep it himself, going far side, trying to get the first down. Boy, he may have lost the first down by cutting right back into the middle of the field. He had some sideline, and he may get stopped for no gain.
Yeah, one of the few times he doesn't get enough of a push to get the first down. Obviously, they'll go for it here, down 3 scores.
Down 21-3, 7:31 as the clock continues to roll. And we're going to wait till the day they actually change this, Kevin Simon. I'm sure we'll get your vote to the Bill Coates press box. But for tonight, it's the Root Construction press box.
Certainly would not get my vote.
Yeah, well, at least till he pays for dinner. It's got to always go back to, where y'all are eating. 4th and 1. Here we go. Thurman sets up Wyatt Parker to the left, and Matt Cochran is coming unglued on the sideline. He's got to call timeout.
Yeah, play clock was down to 0, had to get the timeout.
Well, the second timeout they've spent as the first one went at 10:29 to go, and this one will go at 7:05 mark.
Yeah, again, this is an important play. Got to get the right personnel and got to convert here.
Well, it is one of the first times we've seen Clint Thurman where it looked as though the play actually looked like it was a broken play. It looked like he had turned and didn't even carry out his fake to Patrick Daniels and just took off the left side, but he went back into the pursuit instead of taking it wide on the 3rd and 1. So the 4th and 1 will set him up once again at the 28-yard line. This may be the first incredibly large play of the first half, too.
Yeah, that's a big play. Again, they have to get something. More likely what they need is a touchdown, but they certainly have to get something on the scoreboard here.
Well, big offensive line jogs back onto the field, and these guys have done this all season long where they have been faced with some adversity, and resilience has kind of been their motto, all in. Clint Thurman sets him up. Landon Sullivan behind double tight end set, and now clock will stop, and the head linesman, I think Chris Cochran, is checking the clock or the play clock. He's pointing down to the north end zone. And I'm not sure what the situation is, but they'll set him back to play. 4th and 1. They'll switch it back up as Watts and Landon Sullivan will set to a strong left position. Double tight end set. Snap back. Thurman takes it. First down. Gets it right at the first down marker, and about a mob of people continue to push him. Clint Thurman does not get tackled. He runs all the way out of the scrum on his feet. This guy is not 205 and 5'10". Clint Thurman gets just enough for the first down, and quickly they will snap the ball. Back to Thurman. He'll hand off, fakes handoff. Play action. Now he rolls. He gets drawn down from
yeah.
Well, it's the first time we've had to call the name Peyton Christian, but Christian gets his paw on the shoulder pad of Clint Thurman and whips him down for a big loss back to the 33-yard line.
Well, and again, that's another coverage sack, at least the third one of the first half. He had a receiver he wanted to hit on a go route, but he was covered. Again, had to swallow the football.
This matchup on the outside, Kevin, is killing him with the athleticism of these DBs. There's been numerous delays in Clint Thurman getting rid of the football, and he's good at doing that quickly. 6:12 on the clock. Sullivan sets up to the right. Handoff Wyatt Parker off the right side. Breaks the tackle across the 30 and then gets mobbed at the legs. Pulled down by Zaylen Stoker and Jaden Sanders back at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it's a great reaction by the Bulldog defense. They had the ball carrier running sideways that time, and that's an effective play.
Well, they've still got a situation where they have got 3rd and long again and a possible passing down. Snap back. Thurman by himself looking to throw. He will throw in traffic. It's complete and dropped. Alex Romero drops it at the first down marker at the 17-yard line. Clint Thurman had a little bit of a waffle action, a duck throw, but Romero was right there and hit him in the hands and the chest, and he just dropped it.
They dropped it on a dig route. Field, I'll make that the defense brought the blitz that time, and yeah, Thurman took a big hit, still got off an effective pass, should have been caught.
Well, the longest field goal of the season has been 39 yards for Seth Baggett. This would actually be a 48-yarder if they tried it. Trips receivers to the left. Snap back. Thurman going to throw. Got a man open at the 10-yard line. Caught Romero at the 10, at the 5. Dives for the payload. Touchdown. Alex Romero, what a tremendous comeback. After dropping the first down ball, grabs the 4th down pass on a great drop in by Clint Thurman at the 8 and scrambles in for the score.
On a corner route that time, he was wide open. All he had to do was catch it. He did and found his way into the end zone.
Well, he takes it in from the 32-yard line. make that the 30-yard line. Baggett will set up for the extra point, the Thurman hold. And the Cameron Hicks snap is perfect, hold is good. And what a fantastic comeback for the Eagles here to get a score. 21-10, Kilgore. We come back. Lindale Eagle football continues on thecall.net.
If you're looking to advance and improve your baseball or softball skills and overall game with the hopes of moving on to the next level, Marucci Elite East Texas is the premier select organization to do just that. Hi folks, I'm Derek Kraft, current minor league pitcher for the New York Yankees and coach for Marucci Elite. Head coaches Mike Holochuk and Jeff Casey take over 35 years of coaching experience to the field each year, showcasing East Texas's finest baseball and softball talent. Marucci Elite East Texas has proven itself to be the best at directly focusing on player development and the recruitment of its athletes. You can follow them anytime and learn more about Marucci Elite East Texas through Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at METXETX. That's METXETX for Marucci Elite East Texas.
Well, Kevin, you mentioned it. That was probably that fourth down play was probably the biggest play.
Yeah.
That first one, obviously, they had to turn around and talk about it a little bit. They spent a couple of timeouts, but that one turned out very positively for the Eagles.
And they had to have it. That was a 13-play drive, 86 yards, 6 minutes and 15 seconds. And, again, they had to have a touchdown. They got it.
21-10. Kilgore leading. They'll do a pooch kick, and this time it'll go deep and over the head. And unfortunately for the Eagles, it'll go into the end zone. It went over the head of Adrian Franklin. And unfortunately, boy, I doubt Seth Baggett was trying to kick it to number one, but he kicked it over his head. I just keep waiting for one of these kicks to bite and just come
Check
back.
up. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great drive by the Eagles when they absolutely had to have one, and hopefully that carries over the rest of the way.
Isaiah Ross with 2 touchdown runs, one of 3 yards, one of 2 yards, and then Adrian Franklin with that 72-yard kickoff return. Seth Baggett with a 26-yard field goal, and Alex Romero with a 30-yard touchdown reception. And Romero with his second touchdown reception of the season. Handoff inside and going wide, crossing the 25-30, and out of bounds at the 35-yard line. It'll be D.D. Williams again with the carry, and he picks up a chunk of yardage. Williams picks up, looks like 13 on the carry. We'll see where he runs out of bounds.
Yeah, able to, again, break containment, get around the right edge that time upfield to move the chains.
Yep, 13 yards on the carry for D.D. Williams. And moving the chains, 5:24 to go in this first half. Lindale Eagles scored at 5:32 mark of the first period and 5:32 of the second period. Eagle defense looking for a stop here. Van Zandt sets a man in motion behind him. Ross to his left. He'll hand off to Ross going right up the middle, breaks the tackle, and he's off to the races again. 40, 30, 20. Nobody's going to catch him. Ross goes in from 62 yards out, and I'm not sure he got touched at all.
That's a great job by their offensive line. A big hole for him to run through. He's got good speed as well. Once he kicked it into gear, the Eagles were not going to catch him.
Well, immediately they will answer. That's the second time the Kilgore Bulldogs have answered immediately after the kickoff return by Adrian Franklin at the 5:21 mark of the first period. This time Isaiah Ross goes in from 62 yards out. Ross right now, a couple of touchdowns. 2 touchdowns in his last 2 carries. Kick is up and good from Izagara. And immediately Kilgore answers. 28-10 Bulldogs. We come back. Lindale Eagle football continues with onthecall.net.
You're listening to the Coy Sessions from Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House. All right, Coy, let's take it from the top.
Let's see. Brisket Love Barbecue and...
Again.
Brisket Love Barbecue and...
Again.
Brisket Love Barbecue and... now that...
Again.
Texas Monthly, twice in a row, said we're some of the best barbecue in East Texas. So we want you to come see us. Remember, you stay for the food, you come for the experience.
I think we got it.
Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House. Yeah.
Maybe not.
Well, he doesn't waste any time when he grabs the football. Isaiah Ross, as Stuart just reminded us, 3 touchdowns and 5 carries for Isaiah Ross. That's better than your stats, Kevin.
Yeah, well, that matches his touchdown output from the first meeting. That was a 2-play scoring drive, 19 seconds. They went 75 yards.
Well, 13 yards on the first carry, 62 on the next one. It is a short touchdown drive for the Kilgore Bulldogs. That is their second one of the afternoon. 5:13 in the first to go in the first half. 28-10 Kilgore. Round 3 of the high school football playoffs. One of these teams looking to try to extend their stay. Taken at the 5-yard line. Return to the 20, 25. Michael Shannon, 30, 35, 40. Trying to outrun the Bulldogs. Pulled down at the 47-yard line, 48-yard line. Michael Shannon has been crazy consistent on his kickoff returns. 10 returns, 225 yards on the season. He's averaging 22.5 yards per return. He just eclipsed that today.
Yeah, not sure if it's set up for a right return, but he made it a right return that time. Great job. Again, the Eagles have to take advantage of this starting field position.
Well, again, they've done this twice now after the onside kick was botched by Kilgore. Lindale got it 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line, but was unable to capitalize. And now, again, they get a massive kick return at 5:03 to go in the first half, and they get the football back quickly. Moriarty by himself to the right side. Fake little quarterback draw, and Clint Thurman's got nowhere to go. I tell you, it's always a total dog pile anytime anyone goes into the middle of the field for this football team. It's like you go back to the old days of tackle a man with a football. You just pile on. Well, Jackson Harris was at the bottom of that pile on the scrum, and he's going to stay on the ground, grabbing his left leg. That's just looking like a cramp.
All right, going to stretch him out as if it is just a cramp. Hopefully that is the case.
Kevin, how come people don't – football players never have cramps in their arms or their hips?
It's always
cramps always in the calf.
In the calf,
yeah.
generally speaking, sometimes in the hamstrings, and those things hurt, man. Ooh.
Yeah.
I remember the first one I caught when after playing a Pop Warner football game, woke me up out of my sleep.
Well,
almost had me crying.
Stuart and I have cramps all over our bodies.
Yeah.
Okay? How come when you're a football player, you only have them in your calves?
Yeah, because those guys are in relatively good shape, unlike my current company.
You had to wait till Bill left the press box before you brought that up, didn't you? Bill's constantly teasing himself about how big he is and how much he loves to eat.
And both are true.
Yep. I just hope he has stock in Diet Coke. That's all we hope. Hope the guy ends up a millionaire. 2nd and 8 from midfield. Ball far hash, trips receivers near side. They bounce up, take a look at the sideline, and get the signals from Dylan Heineman and 3 other coaches on the sideline as they have a lot of decoys now. Clint Thurman turns around, hands off. Devin Daniels gets spun around at midfield, gets good yardage. Devin Daniels surging his way across the 45 up to the 43-yard line. Devin picks up. They're going to actually give him, 5-6 yards on the carry. It sets up a 2nd and 1. And that should be a 3rd and 1. They'll finally flip it. Handoff, first man through. Devin Daniels again gets the first down, surges forward inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
And all of these guys run hard for Lindale.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Devin Daniels, one of 9 different running backs this season. 81 carries, 491 yards. Daniels again, spin move, still on his feet, breaks loose at 30, 25, inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
Should tack on a face mask as well. Hopefully it's not a holding call, but I think they got a little bit of a face mask on that as well.
Well, the flag came in about 5 yards downfield. I think that initial contact, it will be a personal foul face mask against Kilgore. So huge, big gain for Devin Daniels. They'll tack it on at the end. So give Daniels credit for the first down. And he will set up a second first down here with 3:43 to go, and the Lindale Eagles in prime position here to try to get on the scoreboard before the end of the half.
Yeah, more tough running, and again, tack on the face mask penalty. The Eagles are in prime position to tack on another touchdown.
Well, it's only the second flag all night. This officiating crew is known to let these guys play football as long as nothing is egregious. So dual tight end set again with Watts and Landon Sullivan. Thurman handed off. He'll keep it himself. And, boy, Thurman missed a huge hole on the left side, cut right back into the middle of the hole. And we saw a huge gap over on that left side, Kevin. I thought he was about to go off to the races.
He started left and then cut back, as you mentioned, right back into traffic that time.
Picks up 3, 2nd and 7. Handoff this time, Patrick Daniels gets a second surge. Touchdown, Patrick Daniels takes it in from 10 yards out. Daniels hit the initial line of scrimmage and got a little bit of contact from the Bulldog defense, and then everybody just let him go.
That's a scoring drive set up by that kickoff return. Again, put them in prime position to tackle more scoring, and they got it done. Great job of blocking up front.
Patrick Daniels takes it in for his 9th touchdown on the ground for the season. Baggett sets up the Hicks snap, the Thurman holds, and the Seth Baggett extra point is up and good. Eagles draw back to within 11, 28-17 Kilgore. 3:05 to go in the first half. We come back. Lindale Eagle football continues with OnTheCall.net.
Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment is going all in with the 2022 Lindale Eagles. Safety first is not only common sense when it comes to your transportation, it should be the top priority anytime it comes to the overall protection of your family. Safety checks on your basic brake and tire conditions or need for maintenance on your AC system is paramount during the heat of a 2022 summer. Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment puts the entire family name behind making sure you stay stress-free on the road year-round. You'll find tire replacements for all size tires, even lawn mowers. Lift kits and auto accessories are installed right there. And in some cases, while you wait, Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment, Highway 69, 4 miles south of I-20 in Tyler. AlfordsBrakeandAlignment.com.
3:05 to go first half. Lindale Eagles come back with a Patrick Daniels 10-yard run to draw within 11. And Kevin Stewart just reminded us Clint's had to stop throwing the football downfield because nobody's open. They've been running the ball primarily. It's worked out for them.
Well, and they can run the football. That was a 6-play scoring drive that went 52 yards, 1 minute and 58 seconds.
Seth Baggett will set up, and they set up again with Cade Hoddy. Hoddy's actually going to approach this football as if he's going to kick it, so watch out. It'll be Baggett with the pooch kick coming down in the middle of nobody at the 25. Franklin has to pick it up, and he does so going left, going right. Lindale defenders, the kick return team works spectacularly. It'll be Wyatt Parker back there along with Aiden Warnell covering up that kick and stopping Dadrian Franklin.
That's great kick coverage. Now defensively they have to be solid. Don't want to take your foot off here and allow another score. Try to hold them here.
All right, Lindale with 29 carries on the ground, and Kilgore right now only with 11 rushes. 3 minutes to go. Kilgore with the football back. Ball near hash mark, just above the Earl Campbell Field insignia. And set up at the numbers is Stoker wide to the left side. Lone setback is going to be Ross. Gets the handoff straight up the middle, and Ross is pulled down. Christian King says, hang on. King and Levi Thornton get in on that tackle for maybe a yard loss.
They got a good upfield push that time by King, as you mentioned, and Thornton that time, and they held him to a very short gain.
Well, they're going to actually give him a yard on the carry. I think that's bogus. We need to go for a replay. Throw a replay flag, Chris. P.J. Wiley checking into the ballgame. I know, we don't have those. Can you plug? Set up 2nd and 9. Van Zandt for the snap. Fakes the handoff to Ross. Will throw complete. Stopped at the 30. No, breaking the tackle, and then a storm of blue jerseys. Michael Shannon will miss the tackle at the 30-yard line, but he slows him up enough to get some help by Wyatt Parker and Jake Kerbo coming near side. Completion goes to Matthew Teiske. Teiske picks up 8 on the completion, so it'll set up a 3rd down and a yard.
Yeah, big play coming up once again for this Eagle defense. They got to get a stop and get off the field.
Kilgore at their own 33-yard line, going right to left. Near hash, wide side of the field is the Kilgore sideline. 2:08 to go first half. Kilgore up 28-17. Round 3, Van Zandt under center. Snap, quarterback sneak, trying to surge forward. And where are they going to mark this? Lindale defense ends up shoving him back to about the 29-yard line, but the linesman is saying the surge got all the way to right at the first down marker. Actually, he may be short.
Yeah, they're marking him a yard short. I don't think they're giving him anything on the play. Well played up front by that Eagle defense. Now, the offense is still out there. We'll see if they go for it on 4th down.
Fantastic surge by the defensive line for the Lindale Eagles. Tag it up for Christian King and Plunkett and Gabe Hart in there just plugging it up. So half a yard gain for Van Zandt.
The offense is out there. We'll see if they actually snap the football and try to draw the Eagles offside.
4th and 1. Lindale fan contingent are on their feet. That's where all the cowbells are. Now, timeouts. Kilgore says, hang on a second, let's talk about it. I'm not really sure this is really a – should they be talking about it?
Well, the play clock was down to 0, so they had to take a timeout. Not sure if they're going to snap the football or not or try to draw them off sides, but we'll see what happens when they come back after the timeout.
I was just making sure you were paying attention to the play clock. I'm trying to see what I'm supposed to cover, what you're supposed to cover. I tell you what, this is one thing that you love about working with people you love and around people you love. Greg Priest, the athletic director for TISD, came in on his own. Kevin whipped around to say, Greg, what were you doing? And this guy evidently saw a little bit of fog building up on our windows.
Because I was wondering, I felt pretty comfortable. I didn't need a fan.
Greg Priest came in and hooked the fan up, plugged it in right under my feet on his own, and he has got us some relief for our fogged up windows.
Teamwork, man.
Well, the teamwork goes all the way back to Bearcat days, because Greg Priest, former golf coach for the Sam Houston State University. All right, here we go, out of the timeouts. 1:19 to go first half. Kilgore, 4th and 1. Lindale defense trying to stop them here at the Kilgore 33-yard line. Van Zant, double tight end set. Looks for the snap, waiting for it. Hard count, turns around, hands off to Ross. He's caught in the backfield. They'll talk it for a 2-yard loss. How about that? Jalen Hines back there along with Christian Weidman. And they'll stop him for a 1-yard loss and take over with 1:15 to go.
Well, on back-to-back plays, they got good penetration, a great job by the big guys up front. You don't see that often. You don't see Ross going backwards much, but he went backwards that time. Great stop by the defense.
When you talk about a turning point in this football game, if Lindale can punch this one in, at least pick up a field goal by Seth Baggett, do something. 1:15 to go in the first half. Lindale Eagle football, 1st and 10 from the Kilgore 32-yard line. Turnaround handoff, Patrick Daniels right up the middle. Daniels surging across the 25. Kilgore trying desperately to strip that football out. They'll finally blow the whistle and blow it dead.
There's still plenty of time. One timeout left for the Eagles.
They'll play quickly. 2nd and 7. Handoff Daniels. Takes it across. First down. Bounces outside. Breaks a tackle. Coming down at the 20-yard line. First down Lindale. And the Eagles still with a couple of timeouts left. One timeout remaining in this first half. They'll play quickly. Clock down to 45 seconds to go. 1st and 10 at the 19. Thurman wants to throw it. Got plenty of time. Now he's scrambling. Stops. He'll throw to the end zone. Player open. A lot of white jerseys down there. And it will drop incomplete. Marcus Field was the intended receiver, and boy, had he come down with that may have been the play of the decade.
Well, dangerous pass that time as Thurman threw it in the triple coverage. Got away with it there, but that's a dangerous pass as the ball just kind of falls to the ground there.
Well, again, I think Clint Thurman was looking for 6 instead of trying to run it as far as he could. He had a little bit of real estate in front of him, and a lot of defenders in the end zone. Incompletion sets up 2nd and 10, 36 seconds to go. Thurman and the Eagles trying to move it left to right. Thurman with dual receivers, snap back, play action, gonna throw, middle of the field. It bounces in at the 5-yard line. That'll be incomplete. They're gonna say it's a completed pass. How about that? 1st and goal from the 5-yard line, completion to Ethan Moriarty. He takes it for 14 yards. Moriarty snap back to Thurman, hands off Wyatt Parker, breaks it outside, surges, touchdown! The Eagles sideline is going crazy. 17 seconds to go, and Parker takes it in after a spectacular catch by Ethan Moriarty to set it up at the 5.
Parker was hit twice before he got to the end zone, broke a couple of tackles to get in. That's a great drive after the stop on 4th down.
What a turnabout for this football game quickly. This football team came back the second half a week ago and played completely different. Seth Baggett gets the extra point blocked. Kilgore will catch it in the air. The extra point will be no good. But the Eagles will score with 17 seconds to go to draw to within 5. 28-23 Kilgore. We come back. Lindale Eagle football continues with OnTheCall.net.
You know that old saying that a man's number one job is to protect his family? Well, that's exactly what my dad had in mind when he founded Beeler Roofing in the late 1970s. Well, now it's 2022, and it's still the backbone of why Beeler Roofing continues to take care of families and businesses' new roofs, full roof replacements, and even simple roof repairs. We still welcome a good old personal phone call to set up a free roof assessment, and we take a lot of pride and enjoyment from making our customers feel better about being home. Plus, we can even help you navigate the insurance process. This is Brooks Beeler, Lindale class 1989, and very proud to support your Lindale Eagles again this year. Find us on the web at BeelerRoofing.com or call us at 903-347-8484. Beeler Roofing, our family protecting your family from the top down for over 40 years.
13 unanswered points for the Eagles. And they're back in this ballgame, 28-23. And obviously top priority would be to try to keep it away from number one, or at least squib this baby and see what happens. Kevin?
That's a 5-play scoring drive. Only took them 58 seconds, 32 yards.
Seth Baggett approaches it at the 40, kicks it deep, and it'll go right over the head of Zaylen Stoker this time. And they'll watch the ball roll dead inside the end zone. So Kilgore with the football back and 17 seconds to go. And obviously trying to protect against the big play here at the end of this half.
Well, that was a great couple of series for the Lindale Eagles. Again, they get the stop on 4th down, and they turn that in to a touchdown. So a great job.
Well, there's been some history behind how the defense has dictated the enthusiasm of this entire football team over the years. And making a stop like that, and Stewart made a great point, because Peyton Christian comes in as a fullback. Anytime they have short yardage situations, Kilgore's going to go ahead and just take a knee and end this first half. Van Zandt will take the snap, and that's it. A fantastic ending to the first half of the Lindale Eagles, who saw themselves down 28-10, and no end in sight when it came to momentum switch. The defense changed all that up for the Eagles. We'll take a timeout here. We'll come back and give you some first half totals when we come back. Lindale Eagle football continues on thecall.net.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
You come for the food and you stay for the experience. Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, a mile off Interstate 20 on FM 849 in Lindale. Come hungry because the barbecue portions are generous and the atmosphere is the best in East Texas, including live music on the stage in Hackberry Hall. Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House combines great barbecue, craft beers, signature cocktails, and live music for a one-of-a-kind experience. Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, 15338 FM 849 in Lindale, and on the web at brisketlovetx.com.
Backing the Lindale Football Eagles now as he did back then. Eagle Chiropractic is owned and operated by former Lindale Eagles center, Dr. Shane Allen. A class of 1989 graduate, Dr. Allen is an expert in chiropractic and nutritional health counseling. His expertise in these areas assists him in helping patients reduce and even eliminate migraine headaches, neck pain, back pain, and joint pain of all levels, both acute and chronic. Eagle Chiropractic offers therapeutic exercises, nutritional supplements, and analgesic creams, along with educational consultations and follow-up to assure continued support and confidence in a healthy lifestyle that is pain-free. Eagle Chiropractic, Highway 69 in Lindale, open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturdays. Call for an appointment and consultation at 903-881-5172. Eagle Chiropractic, making people better every day.
If you're looking to advance and improve your baseball or softball skills and overall game with the hopes of moving on to the next level, Marucci Elite East Texas is the premier select organization to do just that. Hi folks, I'm Derek Kraft, current minor league pitcher for the New York Yankees and coach for Marucci Elite. Head coaches Mike Holochuk and Jeff Casey take over 35 years of coaching experience to the field each year, showcasing East Texas's finest baseball and softball talent. Marucci Elite East Texas has proven itself to be the best at directly focusing on player development and the recruitment of its athletes. You can follow them anytime and learn more about Marucci Elite East Texas through Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at METXETX. That's METXETX for Marucci Elite East Texas.
It's like moving from an old office into a brand new office. Trade up your current office furniture to brand new furniture from Office Barn in Tyler.
Office Barn buys new and used furniture by the truckloads.
We will also upgrade the look of your office by exchanging your current furniture for new digs.
Maximize your office space with our space planning services, including field measurement, design, and a 3D diagram. Office Barn can even reconfigure existing cubicles for office space.
More desks than the Pentagon. 1,000 plus chairs. Conference room tables, lobby furniture, storage cabinets, cubicles.
I'm John Longcrier. We ship anywhere with next day delivery in East Texas. Buy it in the box and save even more. Discounts for nonprofits, veterans, and first responders. Plus, office moving done right the first time.
Between Lindale and Tyler on Highway 69. Across from the big, big American flag.
You name it, OB stocks it.
Office Barn.
The summer of 2022 has been tough on everyone, especially those that were without a top-performing HVAC system. Rose City Air was created by Will Decker and Heath Willingham after they experienced plenty of too little, too late scenarios. With two objectives in mind: service and educate consumers on the most efficient ways to maintain a healthy AC unit correctly the first time and eliminate the anxiety of second and third opinions and repairs. Rose City Air takes the time to show you the complexities of maintaining a top-notch HVAC system while the estimate and assessment is being done. Rose City Air's free estimates, 24-hour no-hassle emergency services, low-cost maintenance agreements, and discounts for veterans, first responders, and educators are why Rose City Air wants to service your home or business whenever the need arises. 903-630-4343 or go to rosecityairtx.com.
You know that old saying that a man's number one job is to protect his family? Well, that's exactly what my dad had in mind when he founded Beeler Roofing in the late 1970s. Well, now it's 2022 and it's still the backbone of why Beeler Roofing continues to take care of families and businesses, new roofs, full roof replacements, and even simple roof repairs. We still welcome a good old personal phone call to set up a free roof assessment, and we take a lot of pride and enjoyment from making our customers feel better about being home. Plus, we can even help you navigate the insurance process. This is Brooks Beeler, Lindale class 1989, and very proud to support your Lindale Eagles again this year. Find us on the web at BeelerRoofing.com or call us at 903-347-8484. Beeler Roofing, our family protecting your family from the top down for over 40 years.
Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment is going all in with the 2022 Lindale Eagles. Safety first is not only common sense when it comes to your transportation, it should be the top priority anytime it comes to the overall protection of your family. Safety checks on your basic brake and tire conditions or need for maintenance on your AC system is paramount during the heat of a 2022 summer. Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment puts the entire family name behind making sure you stay stress-free on the road year-round. You'll find tire replacements for all size tires, even lawnmowers. Lift kits and auto accessories are installed right there, and in some cases, while you wait. Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment, Highway 69, 4 miles south of I-20 in Tyler. AlfordsBrakeandAlignment.com.
Hey, Doc Deason here, Lindale class of 1990 with Real Edge Real Estate in Tyler. You can find me online at DocDeasonRealEstate.com. You know, after this summer, anything associated with fall is going to be welcome throughout the season, especially Lindale High School football. It's an honor for me to again partner with my friend of 30 years, your play-by-play man, Kenny Smith. There's nothing in this country quite like Texas high school football, and you need to know we're partaking in a legendary pastime right now. But when the game's over, if you need some help with real estate, give me a shout. Don't hesitate. 903-262-8680. That's 262-8680. Again, I'm fellow Eagle Doc Deason. Thanks for listening.
Thanks so much, Doc Deason, back at Christus Trinity Mother Francis Rose Stadium in Tyler. We're in the midst of round 3 of the high school football playoffs and a couple of familiar 9-4A foes battling it out this afternoon. Kilgore and Lindale. Kilgore leading 28-23. It was basically a strong arm situation for the Kilgore Bulldogs the first quarter and a half. Lindale Eagles fought their way back as they have been doing all season long and playing very tough football. A couple of fourth down stops and a key one that put them back on the scoreboard late in this second period to get them into the half, only down by 5. Obviously, we had so many numbers the last time these two teams met, Stuart. Not as many for Isaiah Ross, thank goodness, for the Lindale Eagle defense, but what are our numbers looking like this year? This time, I know it's a lot different than, a few weeks ago back in October, too.
Yeah, well, you got to give me a chance to get my breath, Kenny. I mean, it's like that was exciting, those last 2 possessions we had. I thought you were going to throw a lung as you're screaming there.
I feel like I
did. Yeah. Well, let me go ahead and throw some numbers at you here. Kilgore has only had 18 total plays in this game. Lindale's had 42, so they've more than doubled the amount. So Kilgore's, they move quickly. Lindale's methodic, running down the field. So let's go ahead and go through the numbers that we got here. Clint Thurman, like normal, leading everybody in the carries, 16 carries for 89 yards. Patrick Daniels, 7 carries for 40 yards, and he had a touchdown. Wyatt Parker, 6 carries, 15 yards, and a touchdown. And Devin Daniels carried only 3 times, had 17 yards on that. Thurman through the air, only 3 for 10 for 51 yards. One of them was that 30-yard touchdown, and he does have a touchdown. 30. He has a pass, touchdown pass. Marcus Fields, he's one reception for 9 yards. Ethan Moriarty had 1 for 12, and Alex Romero had 1 for 30 with a touchdown. Flipping over to Kilgore, Ross, 11 carries, 131 yards. He's averaged 11.9 yards per carry. He has 3 touchdowns. Only 2 other guys carried the ball. Demarion Van Zant, 1 carry for no yards, and D.D. Williams had 2 carries for 46. He's Demarion Van Zant, 4 throws total, 4 receptions for a total of 73 yards. So I don't need to get into the other the wide receivers. I was just impressed with Lindale's resistance, how they just come back, and it was like last week, trailing by 21, and they just worked their way back, and they did the exact same thing this half.
Well, just exactly like Chris Cochran talked about in pregame, is he's most proud of the fact of how resilient they have been in the moments they need to be resilient and keep their cool, and they kind of follow along the same mantra and the character that Clint Thurman exudes, and that's what most good teams do. They take over the personality of their quarterback, and they have done so very, very well thus far. We are at the half. Kilgore up 28-23 when we come back. Kilgore Marching Band has just finished their performance. Lindale Eagle Marching Band is about to head out onto the field along with the Star Steppers in their incredible halftime entertainments. And they perform each and every week when it's not pouring down rain, which we've seen the last 2 or 3 weeks. Clouds continue to roll around Rose Stadium right now, 55 degrees, still a rather cool afternoon. But afternoon football for the first time in 2022 for the Lindale Eagles and for Kilgore as well. We're at the half, 28-23 Kilgore when we come back.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
It's halftime of tonight's game broadcast. Tonight's Lindale Eagle game broadcast is brought to you by Alford's Tire, Rose City Air, Root Construction, Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, Marucci Elite East Texas, Doc Deason Real Edge Real Estate, Beeler Roofing, The Office Barn, and Eagle Chiropractic. The second half will kick off after the short timeout. It's halftime of tonight's game broadcast. Tonight's Lindale Eagle game broadcast is brought to you by Alford's Tire, Rose City Air, Root Construction, Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, Marucci Elite East Texas, Doc Deason Real Edge Real Estate, Beeler Roofing, The Office Barn, and Eagle Chiropractic. The second half will kick off after the short timeout. It's halftime of tonight's game broadcast. Tonight's Lindale Eagle game broadcast is brought to you by Alford's Tire, Rose City Air, Root Construction, Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, Marucci Elite East Texas, Doc Deason Real Edge Real Estate, Beeler Roofing, The Office Barn, and Eagle Chiropractic. The second half will kick off after the short timeout. It's halftime of tonight's game broadcast. Tonight's Lindale Eagle game broadcast is brought to you by Alford's Tire, Rose City Air, Root Construction, Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, Marucci Elite East Texas, Doc Deason Real Edge Real Estate, Beeler Roofing, The Office Barn, and Eagle Chiropractic. The second half will kick off after the short timeout. It's halftime of tonight's game broadcast. Tonight's Lindale Eagle game broadcast is brought to you by Alford's Tire, Rose City Air, Root Construction, Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, Marucci Elite East Texas, Doc Deason Real Edge Real Estate, Beeler Roofing, The Office Barn, and Eagle Chiropractic. The second half will kick off after the short timeout. It's halftime of tonight's game broadcast. Tonight's Lindale Eagle game broadcast is brought to you by Alford's Tire, Rose City Air, Root Construction, Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, Marucci Elite East Texas, Doc Deason Real Edge Real Estate, Beeler Roofing, The Office Barn, and Eagle Chiropractic. The second half will kick off after the short timeout. It's halftime of tonight's game broadcast. Tonight's Lindale Eagle game broadcast is brought to you by Alford's Tire, Rose City Air, Root Construction, Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, Marucci Elite East Texas, Doc Deason Real Edge Real Estate, Wheeler Roofing, The Office Barn, and Eagle Chiropractic. The second half will kick off after the short timeout.
We're at the half from Christus Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. Kilgore Bulldogs leading the Lindale Eagles 28-23. Kenny Smith along with Kevin Simon and Stuart Campion. And looking at the second half as both teams are down warming up, about getting ready to go through the big, humongous toothed bulldog, which bulldogs aren't supposed to be known to bite people, Kevin, but the blow up for
got
Kilgore.
Teeth, yeah.
Got humongous, like dinosaur teeth. The Lindale Eagles going through their familiar, very generic tunnel where they just break through the Velcro. And I always think someone's going to do a practical joke and put that industrial strength Velcro on one day, and they're just going to blow it.
Team full of injuries.
Tip the whole thing over, yeah. Well, looking at the end of the first half, Kevin, and Stuart and I talked about it right after halftime, we're so thankful that Kilgore somehow got a brain lock and didn't go wide on the Eagles on a 4th and 1. They went right up the middle, and the defense not only blew up Isaiah Ross, they blew up Peyton Christian at the same time, and literally it wasn't even a carry for no gain. They end up losing a couple of yards.
Yeah, might prove to be the biggest stop of the game. Certainly the biggest stop of the first half, as Lindale was able to wrestle away some of that momentum from Kilgore, and hopefully that carries over to the second half.
Okay, halftime in the locker room. Obviously, Clint Thurman has not had to be forced to pick up long gains through the air. He is not having a good solid half, the first half through the air, but it looks as though we're looking at maybe some slant route. Get him some quick routes because they can't beat these guys on the outside with these receivers and trying to match up with the athleticism.
Yeah, some easy passes to get Thurman some confidence through the air. But, again, they've been able to move the football on the ground. They really haven't needed, for the most part, the big passes there in the first half. Certainly you'd like to have some of that to loosen up the Kilgore defense. But if they continue to run the football the way they did for most of the first half, they should be okay. Got to make some stops on defense.
And the one other thing that has – kind of absent in this ball game that they've had all season, at least one or two big plays.
Yeah.
The only one really the 30-yard touchdown reception, Alex Romero, which came immediately after a drop ball.
Yeah, that was a great bounce back for him. Romero, again, on a dig route, he dropped the ball, but on the corner route, what a nice catch to, again, give Lindale some of that momentum going into halftime.
Well, the Eagles won the toss to start the ball game. They elected to take the football. They were 3 and out. So they're going to try to force Kilgore into that starting this second half as Lindale will start off kicking from the south to the north. They're going to go right to left. And we had a wind situation up here when the ball game began. It is just the same as we're looking at the flag is literally blowing from the east to the west as of right now. So it'll be blowing side to side inside the stadium if it actually reaches inside the stadium. Flags on the goalposts are barely moving. So Baggett will kick it off. It's a pooch kick. They'll drop it at the 32-yard line. It's still on the ground. Finally picked up by the Kilgore Bulldogs at the 25. Breaking it inside, and the kick recovery team has a great job of pulling him down at the 30-yard line. Zaylen Stoker ended up with the football, but almost like they pinpointed this ball. Seth Baggett was able to drop it right in the middle where nobody was at.
Yeah, the perfect kick in there as their return man was a little confused of who was going to pick it up. Finally, they did. By that time, the kick cover team was in position to make a play.
Well, the Eagles' number one priority, obviously, is trying to contain Isaiah Ross to keep him as much inside the hash marks, or at least inside the numbers where they've got a little bit of help. Damarian Van Zant right now a perfect 4 for 4 through the air. He'll take the snap with Isaiah Ross to his left side. He'll hand off Ross straight up the middle. Ross trying to bounce off a tackle attempt. He picks up 3, maybe 4 yards before he's pulled down for a gain of 5 up to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 went to 2nd and 5 quickly as Ross picking up 5 up to the 35.
And Ross got most of that after contact, and we talked about tackling. The tackling got better for Lindale as the first half progressed. Got to do a better job there.
Eagle defense back on the field after a fantastic 4th down stop. It gave their offense an opportunity to bring them back to within 5. 28-23. First possession of the second half. faking the handoff and throwing it flare out at the 35 to the 40. And up high tackle and slinging the receiver to Dadrian Franklin out of bounds will be Christian Weidman. Weidman with a great tackle up top and just flips him out of bounds. Almost takes his jersey off in the meantime.
Just a swing pass that time to Franklin, as you talked about, for good yardage and a first down.
And make that Michael Shannon with the tackle. And what always makes you nervous when you've got somebody trying to tackle in the open field, going up high around the shoulder pads.
Yeah.
But Michael Shannon made that work. Still first down for Kilgore at their own 44-yard line. Going left to right. First down of the second half. Van Zant, handoff Isaiah Ross, straight up the middle. Breaking loose at midfield, breaks the tackles, breaking outside at the 45, breaks another tackle there. Got a couple of white jerseys in front of him at the numbers. Darts inside, now back outside of the sideline, 10, 5, touchdown. Isaiah Ross from 56 yards out. Ross right up the middle. Absolutely, if you can't stop him down the middle and you got two broken tackles on the outside too, you're not going to be able to stop this guy.
Well, in all, he had broken 3 tackles on that play. The two that you talked about at the line of scrimmage and one downfield, and once he got downfield, he was off to the races.
Well, that's his 4th touchdown run of the night. Make it the afternoon, a 3-yard, a 2-yard, and a 62-yard run. And Izagara tacks on the extra point, and immediately second half underway. They can't stop Kilgore as the second half goes less than a minute and 10 seconds. At 10:53 mark, Kilgore back up 35-23. We come back. Lindale Eagle football continues with OnTheCall.net.
Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment is going all in with the 2022 Lindale Eagles. Safety first is not only common sense when it comes to your transportation, it should be the top priority anytime it comes to the overall protection of your family. Safety checks on your basic brake and tire conditions or need for maintenance on your AC system is paramount during the heat of a 2022 summer. Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment puts the entire family name behind making sure you stay stress-free on the road year-round. You'll find tire replacements for all size tires, even lawn mowers. Lift kits and auto accessories are installed right there, and in some cases, while you wait. Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment, Highway 69, 4 miles south of I-20 in Tyler. AlfordsBrakeandAlignment.com.
Well, 13 carries, 187 yards already for Isaiah Ross, but it's very easy when you run one in from 62 and then 56 yards out. Makes it pretty darn easy for your defense there. Kickoff is going to come down to Marcus Field. He's going to take it. It'll dribble into the end zone. He's going to bring it out from 2 yards deep at the 10 and trying to get outside. Still on his feet to the 15 to the 20. Can't get out of a tackle attempt at the 28, but my gosh. You talk about a guy that went from the crap house to the hen house there. Oh, yeah. My gosh.
Yeah, I thought it was the wrong decision. Turns out to be the right call, that last scoring drive for Kilgore. 3 plays, 70 yards, 1 minute and 2 seconds.
I really think Marcus really thought there for a second that he had to bring it out.
Right, and you see that a lot.
He was right on the goal line, fumbled the ball back into the end zone, picked it up, and had white jerseys all around him, somehow got out of it. Marcus Field gets him in good field position at the 28-yard line. Well, flipping left to right will be Casey Poe, and Thurman's going to keep it himself, going right up the right side and darting right back into the middle of the field. Crossing the 30, gets good yardage to the 33-yard line. He'll pick up 4. Oh, my gosh. That was a shocker. That's definitely how you want to come back after giving up a long touchdown run. Trips receivers right. Thurman with the quarterback keeper again off the right side this time. Surges forward, still on his feet. They can't bring him down. He gets across the 40-yard line. Still haven't blown the whistle, and they'll blow him down at the 41-yard line. He picks up 8 on the carry up to the 41. 1st and 10, Lindale.
Got about 6 yards after contact. They're going fast again.
Snap back. Thurman, hands off. Patrick Daniels this time. Can't get out of the tackle attempt at the 42-yard line. He's brought down by Peyton Christian at the 43. They'll give him 2 on the carry. Well, playing quickly has really worked well for the Lindale Eagles. Daniels jogs off the field. And Field and Romero will stay wide out to the left side, the short side of the field. Dual receivers both sides. Thurman looks left, pump fake, wants to go up the sideline. He has to pull it down and scramble. He'll just run behind a blocker at the 40. And downfield block, Marcus Field kept his downfield block as he manned up against Jacob Carruthers and stayed his block at the 45.
And once again, good coverage that time. Thurman couldn't find an open receiver, had to take the football off field, at least got positive yardage on the play.
Well, he'll pick up 2 more on the rush, but it'll still set up a 3rd and 6 at the 45-yard line. Set him up tight end left. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Field goes in motion now, no one to the left. Snap back. Thurman's got to throw it. He has to throw it quickly. He's forced to throw on the rush by Carruthers and throws it short of his intended receiver, Alex Romero, who's doing just look like a little bit of a drag route from the inside.
Yeah, Thurman couldn't step up into his pass that time. As you mentioned, he felt the pressure coming, couldn't get off a good pass, just bounced it to the receiver that time. That'll force a punt by Lindale.
Well, there's a large speed differential between these two teams, so Lindale's got to really finesse their way downfield. 4th and 6 from the 45, and Wyatt Parker has to step back to punt. High snap, and he'll get off a straight-ahead kick. It's end over end. It'll hit at the out of bounds. It's going to go out of bounds. Not a great kick by Wyatt Parker, and we'll wait to see where the linesman, who's always 30 yards downfield, and he will just jog up and stop at literally sometimes a random yard line.
Just pick a spot.
It's just, the field judge is at the 5. The ball goes out of bounds at the 32, and he sprints up to that mark and just says, this is where it went out of bounds. There's got to be, seriously, and that's not to dog the officials. There's got to be some training involved in that.
Certainly not scientific, the approach there, but they get it spotted, and here goes Kilgore.
Well, the Bulldogs in the near hash mark. Lindale defense back on the field. Kilgore up 35-23, 9:23 to go, 3rd period. Second half just underway. Kilgore scored on their last possession. Handoff going wide and coming down backside. Christian King whips it down for the tackle in the backfield. It's going to be taken by D.D. Williams that time, and Williams will get pulled down from behind by Big 99.
Yeah, a bunch of Eagles in on the tackle that time. Caleb Walker also around the football back in the backfield. That's a huge play on 1st down for this defense.
Well, the defense always picks up the momentum. They will rack them up about 5 yards. It'll set up a 2nd and 15, and this is where they want them. But defensive backfield has not been tested but one time on a downfield throw. Van Zant waiting for the snap at the 20-yard line. Turns around, throws it short. It's short and incomplete. He had a player open. Michael Dennis was wide open at the 33, and Van Zant just missed his target.
Wasn't going to pick up much on the play. Pretty good coverage by the Eagles on that one. Big 3rd down coming up for their defense.
The Cowbells are out, obviously, not in concert, of course. They're at all different tones, these Cowbells. But, man, the Lindale fans are always well represented. Wyatt Parker jogging onto the field a little bit late. Gets them set up on the defense. They got plenty of time. Dual receivers left and right. 3rd and 15. Van Zant waiting for the long snap. Got Ross to his right. Ross will stay in and protect. Pass is thrown. It's complete at the 34-yard line and tackled immediately by the Lindale defense, and finally rushing him out of bounds. Michael Shannon in coverage on the outside. Completion going to P.J. Wiley. They're going to give him the completion for 8 yards up to the 35-yard line, but for the first time this afternoon, we will see the Kilgore Bulldogs come out and punt.
They have to punt it away. That's a great job by Shannon. He kept the receiver in front of him. You don't want to give up the big play. Made a great tackle after the catch.
Well, he's got yellow shoes on. So Leo Izagirre will set up the punt. And trying to see if it's Hottie back there at the 30-yard line. Izagirre gets off a decent punt. It comes down short at the 42-yard line, and the Kilgore Bulldogs will catch it. Taylor Oliver, for some reason, decided to catch it, even though that ball probably could have rolled in the open field a few more yards.
Didn't allow it to take a roll that time. His teammates immediately got in his face like, what are you doing, man? Come on, dog.
Well, I'm watching Oliver. He is walking off the field as slow as he can. So it's one of those things where I really don't want to go to the sideline right now. He had Jeremy Jackson right beside him, just dogging him. Lindale football. 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Going right to left. Sullivan set up in motion. Now set up straight drop back. Clint Thurman wants to throw it. He throws complete in a double coverage, and Alex Romero will take it for a 4-yard completion to the 42-yard line.
Got him on a stop route that time. That's a great job of finding a receiver for positive yardage.
Well, it's one thing we had mentioned. Boy, if Clint can somehow find receivers in these holes. And Kevin, this goes back to what you and I preach about all the time. Wide receivers have got to run proper, quick, turnaround routes. Trips receivers to the right. Now Sullivan comes in motion to the left. Thurman will quarterback keeper. Goes back up the middle and stopped right there at around the 44-yard line. And the one thing that we've seen different, Kevin, and you've noticed it too, Clint Thurman is not waiting for Wyatt Parker or his backs, his halfbacks, to come up and utilize them as extra protection.
Yeah, he does a great job of picking his way, again, through the defenses throughout the season. A pretty good job so far today. Now, that's a decent job by the defense that time on Thurman.
Well, I'm watching Wyatt Parker on those quarterback keepers, and Parker seems to be going wide and away from possibly the hole where Clint Thurman is designed, maybe the design run is going. So trips receivers to the right side. 3rd and a long 4. Wyatt Parker to the right. Now he'll split to his left. Thinking about throwing it. Clint Thurman's going to keep it himself. Straight up the middle. Thurman gets right at the first down marker. They're going to move the chains. Clint Thurman gives the Eagles a first down at the 48-yard line.
Well, Thurman had the option to throw it on a dash or keep it, and he kept it for the first down. Good decision by the quarterback.
Clock rolling to 3, make it 6:37 to go, third quarter. 35-23. Handoff, Wyatt Parker going right side, breaks across midfield, puts his hand down, 40, 30, 25, 20. Wyatt Parker with no flags on the ground. Parker going in from 48 yards out, make it 52-yard run for Wyatt Parker in the touchdown.
And there again, some broken tackles en route, and a great job of keeping his balance. He was tripped up about 5 yards downfield, but stayed on his feet and took off after that. They couldn't catch him. His second touchdown run of the day.
Well, Wyatt Parker has made a living now in the backfield. 18 carries, 212 yards. That's his 6th touchdown on the ground. Parker right now, back-to-back touchdown runs on his last 2 carries. Baggett on the hold by Thurman, and the snap by Hicks. It's up and good. Well, Wyatt Parker continues to light up this crowd, and the Lindale coaching staff is trying to keep their guys up as the defense is about to head back out on the field. 35-30, Kilgore over Lindale. We come back. Lindale Eagle football continues with OnTheCall.net.
Hey, Doc Deason here, Lindale class of 1990 with Real Edge Real Estate in Tyler. You can find me online at DocDeasonRealEstate.com. You know, after this summer, anything associated with fall is going to be welcome throughout the season, especially Lindale High School football. It's an honor for me to again partner with my friend of 30 years, your play-by-play man, Kenny Smith. There's nothing in this country quite like Texas high school football, and you need to know we're partaking in a legendary pastime right now. But when the game's over, if you need some help with real estate, give me a shout. Don't hesitate. 903-262-8680. That's 262-8680. Again, I'm fellow Eagle Doc Deason. Thanks for listening.
Well, until it becomes the Bill Coates press box, you're up in the Root Construction press box this afternoon. Lindale Eagles and the Kilgore Bulldogs. 4A Division I Region 3 Regional Semifinal. 35-30, Kilgore. If you'll remember, every time these two teams meet, the winner scores at least 38 points. Seth Baggett lining it up at the 40-yard line. And it looks like after Dadrian Franklin's big kick return, they're going to pooch it again. It'll be taken on the fly at the 33-yard line, straight up the middle, and tackle made at the 45-yard line. And whether it's on offensive touchdowns or defensive stops, Wyatt Parker makes the tackle on the kick return.
And that Eagle scoring drive, 4 plays, 62 yards, 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
Wyatt Parker, 5-yard touchdown run just before the half, and now a 52-yarder to get them back to within 5. Defensive stop here for the Lindale Eagles obviously would bode well for not only this football team to follow up that great touchdown drive and that great run by Parker and get the football back here. Ross to the right side of Demarion Van Zant, the senior quarterback, takes the snap at the 42-yard line, turns around, fakes the handoff, play action, caught and then dropped. Jalen Hines with a great tackle and a hit on Matthew Tysky after the completion for 1 yard.
That is great reaction by Hines, make that good coverage as well, but you got to finish it off with the tackle. He was able to do that.
Well, we know that high school kids these days are much like the professional ranks and some of the college ranks. They're looking for that big hit and
right.
the wrap-up.
There you go. And, of course, that's a lost art tackling. As we talked about that earlier, they just don't do a whole lot of it in practice anymore.
2nd and 9 from the 48-yard line, going left to right. Kilgore, snap back, handoff to Ross. Ross trying to go wide. Christian Weidman holding on to him for all he's got, make it. That's going to be Christian King with the tackle back at midfield. He'll pick up a couple of yards, but I think they're going to give up a couple of yards to Isaiah Ross as long as those two, you don't add 40 to it.
Yeah, well, anytime you can get that guy running sideways instead of north, and you got a good shot. Instead of him getting upfield, get him running parallel to the line of scrimmage, you got a chance.
Boy, the crowd is helping this football team out as much as they possibly can. Everybody's on their feet with their blue and white beanies. This place is packed. Man in motion behind Demarius Van Zant. Looking downfield, got a man wide open across the middle, caught at the 30-yard line. First down, Kilgore. Darting inside the coverage, P.J. Wiley got inside Michael Shannon with just a route, almost a not even about a middle range post route.
Right, or a deep slant, but that's just a perfect pass by Van Zant, the quarterback, and a great job by Wiley to go up and get it again for the first down.
Well, it calms the crowd a bit here. After the long pass play, gets them inside the 30-yard line of the Eagles. 4:34 to go, third quarter. 35-30 Kilgore. First and 10. Van Zant takes the handoff inside, goes to Ross. Ross looking for some running room, goes back inside, breaks a tackle at the 35, at the 25, inside the 20, drags a tackler for a first down at the 18-yard line.
There's a penalty flag down. There may be a hold, but it was close to being a horse collar as well. We'll get the call on the penalty, but that's a great run by Ross. Got some pretty good blocking, but a tough run by Ross. We'll get the call on the penalty.
Well, it was downfield as Ross had already picked up 4 yards where the flag comes down at the 26-yard line. They're going to talk about it to the umpire. He's going to bring it back. See if it's going to be a spot foul first. Blindside block call against Kilgore.
Yeah, that's a big one, the 15-yarder, so it's a good break for the Eagles.
Well, that is only the third penalty accepted in this ball game. 2 penalties, 15 yards in the first half for Kilgore. Now this 15-yarder in the third quarter.
Fairly clean ball game up to this point. Good job by both teams.
Well, fantastic break for the Lindale Eagles as they will back Kilgore up to the Lindale 41-yard line. Ball near hash, 2 receivers wide out to the left side in Stoker and Teiske. Van Zant hands off Ross, straight up the middle. Ross crosses the 40, gets good yardage again up to the 36-yard line. He's nowhere near the first down, of course, but he'll pick up 4. They'll actually mark him down right at the 35-yard line, so give him 6 on the carry.
Yeah, good defense that time for Lindale. Again, you just don't want to give up the big play. They've got a long way to go for the first down. Keep the receivers in front of you.
2nd and 16 now. After that 4-yard pickup. Trips receivers now split out to the wide side of the field, the left side. And now they're going to call a timeout as they're slowly heading towards the sideline. And it's actually going to be the first charge timeout against the Lindale Eagles. So 3:32 to go, and we'll take a short timeout here for this word from the UIL.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Rose Stadium, Earl Campbell Field is where we're set up, and thank goodness we haven't had any rainfall at all during the ball game anyway. Field was wet when we got here as the rain came down all over the East Texas area. Matter of fact, I guess most of the eastern portion of the entire state all day yesterday. And got rainfall still back in the forecast for tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving week for everybody that is off work and enjoying a little high school football and extra leftovers today. Out of the timeout, Kilgore, 2nd and 16 from the Lindale 35-yard line. Van Zant by himself, straight drop back, looking right, looking left, will throw right. It's caught at the 21-yard line and down there, and P.J. Wiley thought he was playing for the Cowboys there for a minute. Got up after the catch and tried to
pick up more yards.
Yeah, not sure how he got that wide open, but he was wide open. Nearly picked up the first down that time. I think luckily the pass was low and he slipped down, but boy, yeah, he was wide open.
Well, he picks up 14 on the reception, and it always kills me. Kilgore has 7 coaches that come out all the way to the numbers to call the play. They sprint back out off the field, get the play called. Kilgore, the Lindale defense, looking for a stop here. 3rd and 2 from the 20-yard line. Snap back to Van Zandt, hand off to Ross, going back up to the left side. He will get enough for the first down. Ross started right, went left, and picked up 4. And they'll move the chains up to the 18-yard line. That's where Kilgore will set up 1st and 10.
Yeah, Eagles did a pretty good job, but they get just enough to move the chains. They get a good job by their offensive line. Got just enough of a push.
Well, they're eating up a lot of this third quarter clock here as well. Clock continues to roll. 2:25 to go third period. Kilgore up 35-30. Kevin, you got to say hi to Reginald Taylor.
Hi, Reginald. What's up, Big Reg?
It's still killing me how many we have that we try to give the score as much as possible, but it's amazing. We'll look over at the live chats on our YouTube broadcast, and it's like about every 10 minutes somebody will say, what's the score?
Apparently we're not giving the score.
I know, 35-30. Sometimes you got to actually listen for, 60 seconds, 3 or 4 minutes. Sometimes, 35-30 is our score, 2:13. Clock stopped. And he got the chains moved. Took a long time to transfer over to this next series for Kilgore. They will set up with a wide out to the right, 2 to the left. Aubrey Saylor set up in the backfield to the right. Ross is to the left of Van Zandt. Long snap count, hands off to Ross coming near side. Ross gets horse collar, pitches the football back to Van Zandt, and Van Zandt will go for a touchdown. Oh my! They had Ross tackled at the 17-yard line, and as Ross got spun around, he just turned around and pitched the ball back to Demarion Van Zandt, who took it 18 yards for the score.
Yeah, it looks like that wasn't the first time Ross may have done something like that. It looked like they've been practicing that, but that's a heads-up play by Ross, and Van Zandt took off with it.
Well, my gosh, you got to give Isaiah Ross credit for that, as he had the presence of mind to turn around and know he was going down. Unfortunately for the Lindale Eagles, they turned a great stop to Isaiah Ross on a play that turned around to be 7 for Kilgore. 42-30 Bulldogs, and we come back. Lindale Eagle football continues with OnTheCall.net.
Backing the Lindale Football Eagles now as he did back then. Eagle Chiropractic is owned and operated by former Lindale Eagles center, Dr. Shane Allen. A class of 1989 graduate, Dr. Allen is an expert in chiropractic and nutritional health counseling. His expertise in these areas assist him in helping patients reduce and even eliminate migraine headaches, neck pain, back pain, and joint pain of all levels, both acute and chronic. Eagle Chiropractic offers therapeutic exercises, nutritional supplements, and analgesic creams, along with educational consultations and follow-up to assure continued support and confidence in a healthy lifestyle that is pain-free. Eagle Chiropractic, Highway 69 in Lindale, open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturdays. Call for an appointment and consultation at 903-881-5172. Eagle Chiropractic, making people better every day.
Thank you so much, Sarah Holly. And, of course, every once in a while, Shane Allen, who used to make some plays with the Lindale blue jersey on, Shane jumping in and making a play. It'll be an onside kick that almost goes against the Lindale Eagles. It is a shot kick coming off the foot of Izagara, and it ricocheted off a Lindale Eagle and then covered up immediately by Ryan Stanton. Boy, that could have been bad, but it turned out positive for the Eagles. They get great field position. 1st and 10 from the Kilgore 48-yard line.
Dangerously close to being Kilgore's football, that last scoring drive. 8 plays, 53 yards, 4 minutes, and 25 seconds.
Stewart said Van Zandt's only called his number 1 time tonight, only his 2nd carry, and he got a gifted touchdown right there.
He's only got 100 yards, so a little over 100 on the season, so he's not known for a runner, but he took off with it there.
Well, he's a big guy, but, it seems like he'd be hard to bring down. 1:55 to go, third period. Lindale Eagles, 1st and 10. Clint Thurman coming near side. Breaks through the 45-yard line, still on his feet across the 40, still moving the pile across the 40 to the 36-yard line. You don't know however many more superlatives you can figure out how this guy gains the yardage that he does. He picks up 13 on the carry up to the third. Actually going to mark him at the 37-yard line. So 1st and 10 on the Clint Thurman big run. 3rd first down for the Eagles here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, another tough run by Thurman that time. Again, plenty of contact, but he's able to push himself forward.
Thurman 13.77 on the year when the night started. Bouncing outside to the right, 35-yard line, and then gets popped and ripped down. Pushing him back is Zaylen Stoker. And Stoker takes him down hard, and just like Clint Thurman's been doing all season long, he gets up off the turf as quick as possible and runs over, hands on hips to check the play call from Matt Cochran and the coaching staff on the sideline. So they'll break him back for a 3-yard loss at the 37-yard line. Trips receivers near side. Romero in the slots. Landon Sullivan in the tight slot. Man in motion is Wyatt Parker. He'll fake the pass, and Thurman's going to take it himself. 30-yard line, still on his feet, lunges forward across the 25 for the first down. Clint has got such great field awareness.
Right, and again, his strength. About half the team, half the defense missed tackles there. Great job of running the football.
Kind of hard to explain. Handoff this time to Parker, straight up the middle. It won't be Parker. Let me see if that's going to be Caleb Hart. Might get his first carry of the night. We'll see if it's Parker gets up. It is Wyatt Parker with the carry. Takes it to the 22-yard line. They'll give him 3 on the carry. 2nd and 7. Snap back. Parker again. Going to try left side. Lunges across the 20. Tripped up there and falls forward to the 18-yard. I tell you what, they're giving him a horrible spot right there. They backed it all the way up to the 19-yard line. And Parker fell forward all the way to the 17. And they moved that football all the way back to the 19-yard line. So he got a bad spot there from our vantage point. And man down on the field for Kilgore. Kevin, you got your, never mind that spyglass. We don't need it. P.J. Wiley stayed down, and he's getting up a little bit of a tight calf on the right side.
Another tight calf, just stretching him out. He's going to make his way to the sideline.
Well, it'd be great if they just figured out he had a broke ankle and he was out for the game. But that'd be really bad for Kilgore. Yeah, it's not a broke ankle, but
no, it's just a cramp.
No, it's just a cramp. Trips receivers near side. Snap back. They're going to blow the whistle. And, boy, Matt Cochran, I think he was trying to yell a change-up on that last play. And Cochran now dropping his head, said he is not happy. 3rd quarter will come to a close. And Chris Cochran is screaming for his hometown crowd to get on their feet and help this football team. 42-30 Kilgore over Lindale right now. 4th period on the way next with OnTheCall.net.
A showroom almost as big as a football field. Really? Office Barn in Tyler.
A ridiculous amount of inventory at Office Barn. New and gently used office furniture.
More desks than the Pentagon.
Any style of desk imaginable. Desk as low as $50.
Office chairs.
Over 1,000 chairs in stock of all kinds from $20 to $2,000.
Conference room tables.
Biggest selection of new and used conference tables we've had in a long time.
Low cubicle prices.
Really stylish cubicles and workstations with space planning, delivery, and install.
Office Barn in Tyler.
We ship anywhere with next day delivery in East Texas. Buy it in the box and save even more. Discounts for nonprofits, veterans, and first responders.
Between Tyler and Lindale on Highway 69. Across from the big American flag.
Call or text us. It's the same number, 903-881-0340.
Office Barn in Tyler.
Office Barn.
4th quarter underway, 3rd and 5. Clint Thurman, nobody back helping him. Clint Thurman will keep it himself, going off the right side. Thurman gets stopped all the way up to the 24, the 17-yard line. They're going to give him 2, but once again, it'll force Lindale into a 4th down situation. They're going to go quickly. They're going for it on 4th down. Thurman with the snap, takes it himself, crosses the 10, still on his feet, up to the 5, and down inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. Oh, my. And coming out of the pile, slinging his arms, is Cameron Christian. And Christian came in piling on, first and goal from the 4-yard line. Snap back. Thurman takes it, right side. Flag comes down, though, behind the play, and I think they're going to call this back.
Yeah, they weren't set. Thurman didn't give him time to get set. Now some pushing and shoving going on after the play. The official had his back to it because he was about to make the call. And
well, that's unfortunate.
Missed the pushing and shoving.
Well, they blew the play dead. But it's going to be, again, Cameron Christian is getting pulled off the field by his coaching staff as Christian evidently has lost his composure here and now takes his helmet off. But nobody saw anything as the officials, referee had come towards the sideline, was about to make what was obviously a procedure call.
Right.
Now there's a flag dropped in the middle of the field, right at the 9-yard line, so the umpire may have dropped one, but there's got to be either offsetting or an unsportsmanlike conduct coming somewhere. Wait and see if we can pick up microphone at West Hall here. It's going to be a procedure call against Lindale. So no call on the possible
on the
unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, there was a lot going on after the play.
There was absolutely some physicalness that comes along with that. First and goal now from the 10. Clint Thurman keeps it himself. Off the right side to the 5. Touchdown! Clint Thurman just bolts out of nowhere at the 5-yard line. Peyton Christian thought he had a line on him, but couldn't get his arms around him. And Thurman takes it in from 10 yards out for the touchdown.
Well, and again, I talked about it earlier. He does a great job of picking his way through the defense that time and was able to force himself forward and into the end zone for the score.
Well, it's been a long game for Clint Thurman to not get to the end zone until the fourth quarter, but he will take the hold. Nice snap up, hold is down, kick is up and good. Baggett draws them back to within 5, 42-37. Kilgore, 11:24 to go in this ball game. We come back. Lindale Eagle football continues with OnTheCall.net.
Looking to advance and improve your baseball or softball skills and overall game with the hopes of moving on to the next level? Marucci Elite East Texas is the premier select organization to do just that. Hi folks, I'm Derek Kraft, current minor league pitcher for the New York Yankees and coach for Marucci Elite. Head coaches Mike Holichuk and Jeff Casey take over 35 years of coaching experience to the field each year, showcasing East Texas's finest baseball and softball talent. Marucci Elite East Texas has proven itself to be the best at directly focusing on player development and the recruitment of its athletes. You can follow them anytime and learn more about Marucci Elite East Texas through Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at METXETX. That's METXETX for Marucci Elite East Texas.
Thank you so much, longtime friend and brother Jeff Casey and Marucci Elite East Texas, helping us out with our broadcasts all season long and back in the Lindale Eagles, back in the Root Construction press box. High atop Rose Stadium in Earl Campbell Field, Kenny Smith, Kevin Simon, and Stuart Campion as the Lindale draws back to within 5, 42-37.
That's an 8-play scoring drive, 48 yards, 2 minutes and 31 seconds.
Make sure you get that seconds right.
We got to get that second.
Yep. 11:24, and Baggett will set up with a straightaway kick. As now the Kilgore kick returners will go deep as they back up. Baggett will bring it down to right at the goal line. And Adrian Franklin back there looking like he was hoping for a return attempt, but didn't really try that hard as he let the ball hit at the goal line and roll into the end zone. Franklin thought he was going to run back there and grab it, just get another opportunity there. But.
Well, I thought we'd get some fireworks, some Thanksgiving, and
yeah,
we've gotten them.
Yeah, Cameron Christian kind of started that with what we thought was going to be a possible extracurricular flag back there, but. Lindale defense again having to answer the call here. 1st and 10 Kilgore going right to left at their own 25-yard line. Kamarian Van Zant with Isaiah Ross to his left. High snap. Van Zant going to throw it quickly to the right. It's caught complete. Great open field tackle that time. Trying to see if that's going to be Hudson LeGros or it's Wyatt Parker. It's going to be LeGros with the tackle. Great open field tackle for no gain.
That is a great open field tackle and a nice job again in coverage that time. And well, the Eagles could sure use a turnover right here, but that's a well-played play.
Yeah, boy, reaching out with some extra hugs and prayers for Charles LeBaron, who says it's crazy trying to deliver the mail with this broadcast. So Charles, we love you for that. We appreciate it very much, man. 2nd and 10, Eagles defense. Trying to make a stop here, down by 5. High snap to Van Zandt. Van Zandt getting rushed. He gets the pass off, though, complete at the 25-30, and first down Kilgore as Lindale almost was able to get the sack as Carson Plunkett back there along with Christian King on the rush. And they were almost able to get to Van Zandt, but it doesn't work as they give up the first down. 1st and 10, Kilgore at their own 20-yard line. Make it 40-yard line.
That's a great play by Van Zandt. He did get crushed after he got the pass off. He barely got it off, but he got it off for a first down.
I think it was D.D. Williams with the catch. Gets it up to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Kilgore. Well, this crowd would have gone crazy had they been able to get that sack. Van Zandt got the ball out, though. 1st and 10 at the 20. Faking the handoff to Ross. Caught and dropped immediately and smashed back at the 37-yard line. D.D. Williams gets popped back there by Michael Shannon, and Hudson LeGros comes in to finish things off. Pass was complete at the 43-yard line, but boy, they just dismantled D.D. Williams back into the backfield.
Yeah, this is a great job of reaction to the pass once again. That's how you come up and make a hit and keep it to a short gain.
Gabe Hart comes off. Wyatt Parker back on the field defensively for the Eagles. Cowbells out for the Lindale fans. 9:25 to go. Lindale Eagles trail by 5. Round 3 of the high school playoffs. Who stays alive? High snap, Van Zandt looking left. He's going to throw deep right down the sideline. Got a man open, caught at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Long touchdown catch by Stoker will take it 56 yards for the touchdown. Can't see if that's you. Excuse me, Kevin. Can't see if that's P.J. Wiley
That's
or
Wiley.
Stoker.
Yeah, Wiley on the catch and looked like a go route that time. Just got a step. That's pretty good coverage. Just a perfect pass and a great job by the receiver to focus on the pass to reel it in for the touchdown.
Well, you're not going to beat a quarterback that can drop it in over a defender like he just did to Wiley. And just a spectacular pass by Van Zandt. And again, Kilgore will move back up by 12. It has been a back and forth with Lindale. Eagles just not able to keep Kilgore down long enough to get that football back. 49-37 when we come back. Lindale Eagle football continues on thecall.net.
You're listening to the Coy Sessions from Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House. All right, Coy, let's take it from the top.
Let's see. Brisket Love Barbecue and
again.
Brisket Love Barbecue and
again.
Brisket Love Barbecue and now that
again.
Texas Monthly twice in a row said we're some of the best barbecue in East Texas. So we want you to come see us. Remember, you stay for the food, you come for the experience.
I think we got it.
Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House. Yeah.
Maybe not.
9:10 to go in this football game, and it has been a 12-5, 12-5, 12-5 deficit for the Lindale Eagles since the first quarter. They had to come back from being down 28-10 and came back with a couple of scores back-to-back to finish the first half off, but have not been able to get back within 5 or inside 5 here since the second half began.
Yeah, 4 plays, 75 yards, 2 minutes and 14 seconds on that Bulldog scoring drive.
Well, looking back at what the Eagle defense has done, as they have continued to make stop after stop, but cannot keep these guys from big play offense. Kick comes back to the 5-yard line, and slipping and falling down at the 15 is Marcus Field as he tried to plant and go to his left, and feet just came out from under him. So the Eagle offense has got 85 yards to go to get back to within 5 with 9:06 to go in this ball game.
A little bit of a bad break there, although Kilgore was in good position to make a play. Their kick coverage team did a good job, but just tripped over himself, and boy, bad break.
Well, the only other game going on around the area at this very time, West Rusk and Harmony playing at Pine Tree right now. They kicked off at 1 o'clock in the 3A Division II third round. Trips receivers to the right. Snap back, and Clint Thurman has the ball just come out of his hand as he trying to throw it out into the flats to motion man Patrick Daniels, and the ball just hit about 2 yards in front of Daniels.
Yeah, Thurman kind of points to himself, say, hey, man, my bad, just underthrew the pass there.
Dual receivers to the right. Snap back quickly. Hand off to Patrick Daniels. Daniels again gets it across at 15, but the ball comes loose. Kilgore picks it up. There's no whistle and no flag. This is going to be run back for a touchdown by DeMontrell Candy. Well, on his way to the ground, Patrick Daniels fumbles the football. It bounces right up to the hands of DeMontrell Candy, who takes it back 11 yards for the touchdown for Kilgore.
Boy, and that's the turnover that the Eagles needed. Instead, it's a good break by the Bulldog defense.
Well, unfortunately for Patrick, Boyd, it happened well deep into the Eagle backfield, or in Eagle territory, as he was coming right side and turned it up into the middle of the field before that ball came out. Extra point quickly is up and good by Izagara, and all of a sudden Kilgore hits the scoreboard with back-to-back touchdowns. 56-37 Bulldogs when we come back.
The summer of 2022 has been tough on everyone, especially those that were without a top-performing HVAC system. Rose City Air was created by Will Decker and Heath Willingham after they experienced plenty of too little, too late scenarios, with two objectives in mind: service and educate consumers on the most efficient ways to maintain a healthy AC unit correctly the first time and eliminate the anxiety of second and third opinions and repairs. Rose City Air takes the time to show you the complexities of maintaining a top-notch HVAC system while the estimate and assessment is being done. Rose City Air's free estimates, 24-hour no-hassle emergency services, low-cost maintenance agreements, and discounts for veterans, first responders, and educators are why Rose City Air wants to service your home or business whenever the need arises. 903-630-4343 or go to rosecityairtx.com.
Well, first turnover of the afternoon, and it goes against the Lindale Eagles. And the fumble recovery and the return for the touchdown for Candy. And the kickoff, ensuing kickoff, goes out of the end zone. And Lindale Eagles will start on 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Obviously, almost feels like a dagger, even though there's still a lot of time left to go in this ball game, Kevin.
Yeah, kind of candy that leaves a sour taste in your mouth. Candy picked it up, scoop and score for the touchdown.
And the scoring drive was?
That was it.
Did you just say candy that leaves a sour taste in your mouth?
I thought it was brilliant. Apparently, I'm not getting my credit.
Like Sour Patch Kids or something? Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Jonathan Hart, hey, thanks a lot for the sweet message, man, and we apologize, even though I'm really glad that you're white deer hunting, because I'm an absolute killer for venison, so just remember that, just in case you've got any left over. I've got cash money. Snap back to Thurman. Thurman going to throw across the middle, caught by Alex Romero. Romero has the ball stripped out of his hands and pulled out of his hands, and returning it for the touchdown is Zaylen Stoker. Oh, my gosh. What a back-to-back disappointment for this football team, as Romero, with a great catch, he turned around, Stoker grabbed the ball, just stripped it out of his hands, and returned it 25 yards for the touchdown.
Back-to-back fumble returns for touchdowns for Kilgore, and again, they're starting to make it happen defensively.
Well, it's hard not to just get completely engulfed in the horror that comes along with a football team that has been so resilient all year, and to have two misfortunes like that back-to-back happen to them here late in this ball game. 8:43 to go, and now 3 touchdowns in a row for Kilgore, and just the last basically less than a minute. We'll take a short timeout here and return. Coming up next.
Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment is going all in with the 2022 Lindale Eagles. Safety first is not only common sense when it comes to your transportation, it should be the top priority anytime it comes to the overall protection of your family. Safety checks on your basic brake and tire conditions or need for maintenance on your AC system is paramount during the heat of a 2022 summer. Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment puts the entire family name behind making sure you stay stress-free on the road year-round. You'll find tire replacements for all size tires, even lawn mowers. Lift kits and auto accessories are installed right there. And in some cases, while you wait, Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment, Highway 69, 4 miles south of I-20 in Tyler. AlfordsBrakeandAlignment.com.
Well, there are times when the ball bounces your way, and there's just times that turnovers happen and they go against you. And Lindale Eagles have seen this happen all within the last minute of this football game. Kickoff will come down short at the 5-yard line, taken by Michael Shannon to the 10, 15, 20. 25 trying to go wide, and boy, he had a lot of real estate in front of him, but catching up from behind and tackling him from behind is Chris Williams. And Lindale will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line going the other way.
Eagles have to be a little shell-shocked again after those back-to-back fumble returns for scores. That last one by Zaylen Stoker, a stripping score that time by Stoker for the touchdown.
It is 3 touchdowns in a matter of 35 seconds, Kevin. It just absolutely takes the starch right out of you. Trips receivers to the right side for the Eagles, trying to work their way back and get in the end zone as quick as they can. Thurman steps up into the pocket, throws it behind the intended receiver, and it's going to be picked off by Zaylen Stoker, even though we've got an incomplete call now from the referee. Well, Stoker took off.
Yeah, well, that's a great
to
job.
The sideline.
Yeah, that's a great job of selling it. That's what you got to do as a defensive back. You got to sell it. And he did, but the officials didn't buy it that time. Good break for Lindale.
Oh, my gosh. You just don't know how much, your team can take after a while. Figure out a way to get back on the horse with some kind of confidence here. 2nd and 10 from the 26-yard line. Inside handoff fake, play action. Thurman's going to get pulled down, wrestled down all the way back at the 14-yard line. Tackles made back there by Jackson Harris. And Thurman had no protection on his backside and tried to go ahead and roll out and get out into the open in the right side, but just could not get out of the grasp of Harris.
Yeah, and the Kilgore should just, they're at the point now with this big deficit or big lead that they can kind of let the dogs loose now, and they're going after Thurman.
Well, Sullivan will move from the left to the right, dual receivers left and right, and boy, you've got to make sure that your players continue to play hard all the way through every snap. Snap back to Thurman. Thurman's going to go deep down the near sideline and throws it into traffic. 2 white jerseys going up for it. Stoker, and both he and Jaden Sanders went up to the football, and neither one of them came down with it. So incomplete pass on the long toss, and Thurman's got to jog off the field. And no other choice now but to let Wyatt Parker go ahead and try to get Kilgore pinned back as deep as he can.
Well, as I talked about, got to be a little shell-shocked after the turnovers and score. That one actually should have been intercepted. Two Bulldogs knocked the ball away from each other.
Well, it's been a long time since we've seen a scoop and score and a strip and score, especially in such a short amount of time. End over end kick by Parker will hit at the 48. Rolls, takes a Lindale roll inside the 30. Rolling inside the 30, inside the 25, and out of bounds at the 23-yard line. A crazy, huge punt by Wyatt Parker. As he will get at least a 36, 46, 56, what is that, a 63-yard punt? Well, you got 36 to midfield, 46, 56, and 7 more. So that's a 63-yard punt by Wyatt Parker. And I still don't understand why the punter doesn't get the yardage all the way back to where he actually kicks the ball.
Right where he kicked the football from.
Yeah.
But that's a great punt.
Yeah. Crazy great punt, and they absolutely needed it at this time. Lindale trailing Kilgore 63-37. It was 42-37 about 2 minutes ago. Handoff Ross. Ross coming right up the middle, breaking a tackle, and then runs right into Ryan Stanton. Stanton takes him down, and Ryan is shaken up. Make that Hudson LeGros. He comes up shaking his head a little bit. They put a pretty good shot on him right at the 28-yard line. He'll pick up 6 on the carry. Make it 2nd and 4, looks like, at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, Van Zandt actually bobbled the snap before he got it off, got the handoff off, and they still got pretty good yardage on the play.
Clint Thurman, who had a touchdown through the air and on the ground a week ago, and one tonight in the 4th period, having to watch from the sideline with his team down by almost 30. Isaiah Ross moves back and forth, and finally will get pulled down, and Lindale Eagles are still trying. The officials are not only letting him play, Kevin, they're waiting for the last possible second to blow that whistle.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of scrums, and I like the fact that they're letting them play.
Absolutely.
As long as they're doing it for both teams, and they're able to pick up the first down there.
So it'll be Roosevelt Rollins with his very first carry of the night as he picks up 4 yards. So Ross may be done, and that's probably okay. Rollins stays in the backfield. Rollins second on this team in rushing, 84 carries, 501 yards with 5 touchdowns to his credit. Snap back, hand off to Rollins again, going right side, trying to spin move and cannot get out of the grasp of, wait until he clears all the other players. Coming in for the tackle, it's going to be Christian Weidman. Weidman with the tackle on the far side. He gets enough for the about 5, make it 6 up to the 38-yard line.
Rollins is not as big as Ross, but he's got good footwork and he's pretty quick.
Well, Kilgore's not going to have any problem here in the next couple of years competing. They've got an awful lot, huge junior class and sophomores as well. 2nd and 5 from the 38-yard line. Kilgore going right to left, up 63-37. Roosevelt going wide to the right side. Stopped at the 37, makes a move inside. Gets popped by Jake Kerbo and forced out of bounds on the far sideline by Kerbo and Christian King.
Yeah, again, Rollins, again, that footwork allowed him to make a few defenders miss, stay in bounds, and he nearly picked up the first down.
And more like we said, it was 42-37. Back with 11:24 to go in this ball game, and back-to-back touchdowns by the Kilgore Bulldogs in less than a minute of time. Pushed them ahead 63-37 with 4:50 to go in this one. 3rd and 1. Snap back, handoff, Roosevelt going right side. Breaks the tackle at the 45, still on his feet, and pulled down. Some hard running by Rollins as they mark him down right on top of midfield. So Rollins is kind of picking up for Isaiah Ross. He gets the first down. They're going to move the chains and then some.
Yeah, again, I just talked about his footwork, and he does it on every play. He makes a guy or two miss, and he gets positive yardage. This time another first down.
Well, Rollins is a senior along with Ross. Peyton Christian also a senior, so they'll lose a lot of strength there offensively and defensively. Demarion Van Zant will be gone as he is a senior playing in his last season in high school ball. 1st and 10, Kilgore going right to left. Ball far hash. Lindale Eagles trying to get this football back for their offense. One last time, handoff to Rollins. Rollins going to try the right side this time, and he gets stacked up for about a 4-yard gain. Rollins' shoulder pad on his left shoulder has been flipping, flopping since the second time he carried the football, and there's not a teammate yet that's helped him tuck that thing back in.
Yeah, and he's going to take a play off. His helmet came off, so he has to come out of the game for a play. Maybe they'll get that shoulder pad fixed. I think they're working on it now.
Little equipment timeout, and unfortunately for Lindale, they the other teams might call a timeout just so Isaiah Ross can stay on the sideline and not come in.
Well, he has to come in for one play, so buckle up, Eagles.
Well, they'll split a wide receiver. Jaden Sanders sets up wide to the left side. Isaiah Ross in the backfield now to the left side of Demarion Van Zant. Takes the snap, hands off to Ross, will go right side. Ross trying to find a seam, but gets knocked down at about the 45-yard line. Ryan Stanton's right there with the initial contact and knocks Ross down for a gain of a couple, make it 3. So 3rd and a long 3 for Kilgore.
And Warnell also in on the tackle. That's a good play by the Eagle defense.
Clock continues to roll, 3:14 to go. Kilgore most likely will play next week against the winner, of course, of Chapel Hill and Lumberton, who will kick off at 7 o'clock tonight. Ross, 18 carries, 206 yards. Much less than his 343 the last time these two teams played. 3rd and 3, 43-yard line. Snap back. Van Zant's going to keep it himself. Easily gets the first down across the 40. Still on his feet to the 35. Knocked down at the 31-yard line. And Ross will not only move the chains, he will keep the clock running for the Kilgore Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's just well blocked that time. Again, the quarterback, Van Zant, not known for his running, but good yardage on that play because of his offensive line.
Well, Jonathan Ishmael and Cameron Hicks both check into the ball game now. Set up on that defensive front for the Eagles. Clock continues to roll with 2:25 to go in this one, and Kilgore with a commanding 63-37 lead over the Eagles here late in this one. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Van Zant with Rollins to his left. Long snap count as he'll lose as much of the clock as possible. Hands off to Rollins, straight at the middle, bounces outside at the 30. High tackle attempt by Weidman, and Weidman gets ridden out of bounds. Or actually rides, he's the rider. Rides Rollins out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
But again, good gain on the play by the backup running back. Good job of running the football.
8 yards for Rollins. Rollins averages 6 yards a carry. And fresh legs for these guys, too.
Fresh legs and, again, shifty footwork. Hard to keep that guy in front of you.
Guys, the one thing I did forget this week, and I do apologize, there's no tasty cake, apple pie, or cherry pie.
You know what?
Either one of you.
That's loud.
Plus, I forgot to pick you up before the game, too. So, thank goodness we got Uber locally. 2nd and 3 from the 25-yard line. Van Zant waiting for the snap. He takes it at 2 on the shot on the play clock. Rollins breaks the tackle and getting it outside and gets tackled right at the first down marker at around the 22-yard line. We'll see where they'll mark it. They'll mark him a yard short of the first down, but Rollins stays in bounds and keeps the clock rolling. Has full substitutions now for the Eagles as jogging onto the field, Corey Watts will come out along with Carson Plunkett back on the football field, along with Caleb Walker back in the ball game. Walker set up in that defensive tackle spot on the right side. But this may end up being the last play of this ball game and the last game for the Lindale Eagles seniors in their football careers at Lindale High School. 3rd and 1, 35 seconds to go. Van Zant waits till the play clock goes down to 1. Rollins with the carry, trying to get out of a tackle attempt and waits a little too long. Will get pulled down at the 25-yard line. And Aiden Warnell in with the tackle, along with Ryan Stanton pulls him down. They're going to give him actually a gain of 1, I think, up to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, they won't
and
have
that'll
to snap
be it.
again. Yeah, so that'll wrap it up. Again, just an explosion by the defense of Kilgore. Got this game turned around.
Well, the Kilgore Bulldogs will take down the Lindale Eagles to finish up their season in round 3 in a barrage of touchdowns at 9:10, 8:53, and 8:43 on the clock in the 4th period. 3 touchdowns in less than a minute on a scoop and score and then a strip and score for Kilgore. Put this game out of reach for the Eagles. So the Lindale Eagles will finish up their season at 8-5 and fall here in the regional semis to Kilgore with a final score 63-37 Kilgore. We'll take a timeout and come back and give you the totals in just a moment.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never were the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates. And I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
You come for the food and you stay for the experience. Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, a mile off Interstate 20 on FM 849 in Lindale. Come hungry because the barbecue portions are generous and the atmosphere is the best in East Texas, including live music on the stage in Hackberry Hall. Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House combines great barbecue, craft beers, signature cocktails, and live music for a one-of-a-kind experience. Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, 15338 FM 849 in Lindale, and on the web at brisketlovetx.com.
Backing the Lindale Football Eagles now as he did back then. Eagle Chiropractic is owned and operated by former Lindale Eagles center, Dr. Shane Allen. A class of 1989 graduate, Dr. Allen is an expert in chiropractic and nutritional health counseling. His expertise in these areas assist him in helping patients reduce and even eliminate migraine headaches, neck pain, back pain, and joint pain of all levels, both acute and chronic. Eagle Chiropractic offers therapeutic exercises, nutritional supplements, and analgesic creams, along with educational consultations and follow-up to assure continued support and confidence in a healthy lifestyle that is pain-free. Eagle Chiropractic, Highway 69 in Lindale, open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturdays. Call for an appointment and consultation at 903-881-5172. Eagle Chiropractic, making people better every day.
If you're looking to advance and improve your baseball or softball skills and overall game with the hopes of moving on to the next level, Marucci Elite East Texas is the premier select organization to do just that. Hi folks, I'm Derek Kraft, current minor league pitcher for the New York Yankees and coach for Marucci Elite. Head coaches Mike Holichuk and Jeff Casey take over 35 years of coaching experience to the field each year, showcasing East Texas's finest baseball and softball talent. Marucci Elite East Texas has proven itself to be the best at directly focusing on player development and the recruitment of its athletes. You can follow them anytime and learn more about Marucci Elite East Texas through Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at METXETX. That's METXETX for Marucci Elite East Texas.
It's like moving from an old office into a brand new office. Trade up your current office furniture to brand new furniture from Office Barn in Tyler.
Office Barn buys new and used furniture by the truckloads.
We will also upgrade the look of your office by exchanging your current furniture for new digs.
Maximize your office space with our space planning services, including field measurement, design, and a 3D diagram. Office Barn can even reconfigure existing cubicles or office space.
More desks than the Pentagon. 1,000 plus chairs. Conference room tables, lobby furniture, storage cabinets, cubicles.
I'm John Longcrier. We ship anywhere with next day delivery in East Texas. Buy it in the box and save even more. Discounts for nonprofits, veterans, and first responders. Plus, office moving done right the first time.
Between Lindale and Tyler on Highway 69, across from the big American flag.
You name it, OB stocks it.
Office Barn.
The summer of 2022 has been tough on everyone, especially those that were without a top-performing HVAC system. Rose City Air was created by Will Decker and Heath Willingham after they experienced plenty of too little, too late scenarios, with two objectives in mind: service and educate consumers on the most efficient ways to maintain a healthy AC unit correctly the first time and eliminate the anxiety of second and third opinions and repairs. Rose City Air takes the time to show you the complexities of maintaining a top-notch HVAC system while the estimate and assessment is being done. Rose City Air's free estimates, 24-hour no-hassle emergency services, low-cost maintenance agreements, and discounts for veterans, first responders, and educators are why Rose City Air wants to service your home or business whenever the need arises. 903-630-4343 or go to rosecityairtx.com.
You know that old saying that a man's number one job is to protect his family? Well, that's exactly what my dad had in mind when he founded Beeler Roofing in the late 1970s. Well, now it's 2022 and it's still the backbone of why Beeler Roofing continues to take care of families and businesses, new roofs, full roof replacements, and even simple roof repairs. We still welcome a good old personal phone call to set up a free roof assessment, and we take a lot of pride and enjoyment from making our customers feel better about being home. Plus, we can even help you navigate the insurance process. This is Brooks Beeler, Lindale class 1989, and very proud to support your Lindale Eagles again this year. Find us on the web at BeelerRoofing.com or call us at 903-347-8484. Beeler Roofing, our family protecting your family from the top down for over 40 years.
Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment is going all in with the 2022 Lindale Eagles. Safety first is not only common sense when it comes to your transportation, it should be the top priority anytime it comes to the overall protection of your family. Safety checks on your basic brake and tire conditions or need for maintenance on your AC system is paramount during the heat of a 2022 summer. Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment puts the entire family name behind making sure you stay stress-free on the road year-round. You'll find tire replacements for all size tires, even lawn mowers. Lift kits and auto accessories are installed right there. And in some cases, while you wait, Alford's Tire Brake and Alignment, Highway 69, 4 miles south of I-20 in Tyler. AlfordsBrakeandAlignment.com.
Hey, Doc Deason here, Lindale class of 1990 with Real Edge Real Estate in Tyler. You can find me online at DocDeasonRealEstate.com. You know, after this summer, anything associated with fall is going to be welcome throughout the season, especially Lindale High School football. It's an honor for me to again partner with my friend of 30 years, your play-by-play man, Kenny Smith. There's nothing in this country quite like Texas high school football, and you need to know we're partaking in a legendary pastime right now. But when the game's over, if you need some help with real estate, give me a shout. Don't hesitate. 903-262-8680. That's 262-8680. Again, I'm fellow Eagle Doc Deason. Thanks for listening.
Well, boy, you always hate when it comes to a close, but My gosh, we can't make it happen for 13 weeks, 14 weeks of the season, and 14 games for the Lindale Eagles, and they go down. Only the second time this team has ever gotten to the third round of the playoffs, obviously a couple of years ago when Jordan Jenkins took all of us by storm and led them all the way to the state championship game in Arlington. But the Lindale Eagles will fall to the Kilgore Bulldogs round 3 of the high school playoffs and the regional semis by a score of 63-37. Obviously, Kevin, it's very easy to look at the scoop and score, the what do you call it, the strip and score?
Strip and score, strip 6.
Right after the touchdown, and it was done. This was a very close ball game, and we actually saw some things happening for the Lindale Eagles positively when it came to moving the momentum their way, and then Kilgore just absolutely just took it off the board.
Yeah, there's a lot of fight in this Lindale football team throughout the season, and Coach Cochran and his staff has always done a great job. Tip of a cap to the Kilgore team who lost in this round at this stadium last year in overtime thriller to Chapel Hill, so they move on to the next round. But a great job, great season for Lindale.
All right, well, you only got to see a couple of games, but the one or two things that you obviously thought were the things that impressed you the most about this, maybe not only the football program but the team itself?
Yeah, without question, it's the fact that they keep fighting, right? They never give up. They were down 21-7 last week and wasn't looking very good. They got it turned around, but there's a lot of fight in this football team, and it starts with the quarterback. Of course, he just kind of, they feed off of his energy, and they got, they almost, again, this was a competitive football game until it got away at the end there. And so, yeah, you love the fight in this football team.
And you like the fact that what they've got coming back. 19 seniors, though, we have to say so long to. They played in their final football game in their high school season. Now, the closeness of this football team and how tight they were as a team, I never had the pleasure of playing with a team that friendship-wise, psychologically-wise, were so tight-knit, were so close to where they all were rooting for each other. Have you had that experience before, Kevin?
Well, I've had it for most of the teams I played on. The only team that didn't have it, we won 3 games in 2 years.
Yeah.
So it matters to have a close-knit unit that likes each other, that plays hard for each other. And, again, that showed up week to week. I didn't see all of the games, but I saw enough to know how close this football team is and how hard they fight for each other.
Well, the seniors, we have to say so long to Brett Maya, who, of course, got to come out as one of the captains for the coin toss a week ago. Brett had to leave the team for a medical issue earlier, played in the first couple of ball games, but Brett has been to every captain's meeting. He's been to all the practices. He continues to be treated as if he is a full-time part of this team, dressing out every week, just not being able to dress out. Brett Maya, we say so long to the 6 foot, 185-pound senior. Levi Thornton, DB, and didn't get a lot of chances to run with the football this season, but Levi Thornton was hurt most of the first half of the season and came back playing valiantly. Christian Weidman, senior, will graduate this year. Ethan Moriarty, we say so long to the wide receiver Ethan, who had a fantastic game this game back in the regular season with 10 catches, over 140 yards, reception yards. Ryan Stanton, we're going to miss this guy. He's in on almost every tackle, leading tackler for this football team. Kaysen Watts, who went down a few weeks back with I think a broken ankle. Kaysen was done for the season. An incredibly sad week that was, seeing Kaysen basically just torn away from the team he loved. We say so long to Kaysen Watts. Also Landon Sullivan, who had a monster senior year as well. Michael Shannon, who we really wish he could have returned a few more kicks, because Michael Shannon was exciting as a returner, a senior finishing up. Caden Heron, another senior, leaving. Will Hutchins will be finishing up his high school career today, but will be moving on to Sam Houston State to play football for the Bearcats coming up next year. Corey Watts finishes up his last game along with Jonathan Ishmael. Brady Bowman, who really put some adrenaline into this football team the last 3 or 4 games. Brady Bowman, who had a monster game against Jacksonville to finish up the regular season. Also, Brady, we say so long to that senior. Ethan Heller, one of the intricate pieces to that 5-man front for the offensive line. Ethan Heller and Brandon Petway. Trey Maseratian, how about that? Probably the guy that kept the glue that kept this entire team motivated and had true leadership skills. Trey Maserati, and there will never be anybody that takes over that captain role like Trey Maserati did for the entire season. Joe Richard finishes up his senior year this year. And Gabe Hart and Christian King, the 98 and 99 for this Lindale football team. They are done. They play their last game. Lindale Eagles are right now between the hash and the numbers, between the 20 and 30-yard line, and they are taking it all in. There's a lot of sad faces down there, a lot of kids that emotionally are trying to be grips to the fact that they're not going to dress out anymore.
Yeah, this is it, and a lot of hugs down there on the football field, and again, more evidence of how close this football team is. Great season, tough loss, tough way to end it.
Well, 63-37 final. Kilgore over Lindale tonight at Rose Stadium. You do it at home. It's a short drive home, so you get a little bit more time with the family. And a guy that got his first taste of Texas high school football, and you went pretty deep with us, man. You got a lot of games.
Yeah, I did, other than the one that I missed, and I was very impressed with football here in Texas. The coaching staff here is just, to me, is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, the way these guys keeps these guys as it's a family unit. That's all you can say about it. You know, they're all real brothers.
Yeah.
So I was impressed just to be here and then to watch this team that's glued together. Yeah, I'm impressed.
And Alan Phillips even take time, and Alan has been our regular color man throughout the rest of the season. Kevin had to step in for him because of surgery. Alan's listening and said, you know what, it's great. Stuart, its message is right there. Alan Phillips says, Stuart got a real taste of Texas football now that we're into November, and we get all the way up to Thanksgiving week, too.
Yeah, I wanted to get a taste of Alan's barbecue.
Yeah, well, we're here, and Alan's there, so we got to figure out how to, bridge the gap there.
Make that happen.
All right, Stuart Campion, give us our final numbers for 2022, bud.
Okay, let's go ahead and just start with running the ball. Clint Thurman ran the ball 26 times today for 151 yards, and it's kind of strange. He didn't have a touchdown today. Patrick Daniels, 9 carries for 42 yards, a touchdown, and a fumble. Wyatt Parker, 9 carries, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devin Daniels, 3 carries for 17. Clint Thurman through the air. He's 6 for 17, which is kind of off for him as well.
Yep.
Only 62 yards in the air with a touchdown. Marcus Fields had a reception for 9. Ethan Moriarty had a reception for 12. Landon Sullivan, 1 for 5. And Alex Romero had 3 catches for 36 yards, a touchdown, and the fumble toward the end of the game. Switching on over to Kilgore, Isaiah Ross, the main man for them, 206 yards on the ground today. He 18 carries. He averaged 11.4 yards per carry, and he also had 4 touchdowns. Roosevelt Rollins, 8 carries, 34 yards. Demarion Van Zant, who doesn't carry the ball very much, 29 yards, 3 carries, and a touchdown. That was the one that was pretty much handed to him on the 12-yard line, or 11-yard line. Okay, D.D. Williams, 3 carries for 41 yards. So in the air, Van Zant only threw the ball 4 times in the first half. Well, he ended up with 13 throws, and he had 11 receptions for 188 yards, so that's actually pretty good percentage-wise with a touchdown. P.J. Wiley, 5 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown. Matthew Teiske, two receptions for 9 yards. Devarian Franklin, 1 reception for 9 yards, and Isaiah Ross, 1 catch for 20 yards. And he also had returned touchdown. So 1 catch for 20 yards, but then he had the big TD on that kickoff. So that's it for here on the stats for this year. Looking forward to next year.
All right. Well, if you make the draft and, you pass all your tests and your physical comes out okay, we may consider you.
I'll just turn my head and cough.
Kevin Simon, thanks for being here,
man,
buddy.
Always good to be along with you, man. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, you got
short run for me, but a good run. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but you got a free shirt out of it.
Got a free shirt out of it.
Y'all, thank you so much to all of our sponsors that were a part of our broadcasts all year long, because so many people it takes to put all this together, especially with the extra games going on deep into the playoffs as well. Marucci, Elite East Texas, also our friends at the Office Bar. John Linecrier is always one of the first to call me. Rose City Air and Heath Willingham jumping on this year to not only support the Lindale Eagles, but also the Lindale community with the great service and AC and heating service that he puts together, and has picked up many, many customers throughout the Lindale area. Say thank you so much to him. Doc Deason, of course, is part of our team. The entire Alford family at Alford's Break and Alignment. Brooks Beeler Roofing. I'm not real sure we could get through an entire year without that smile and that laugh and something about what y'all got to eat in here, something like that. Just get us Brooks Beeler thing. Where's the food? And of course, Brisket Love, because we got a phone call, matter of fact, from Holly Rand, who's very involved with not only our broadcast but continuing to promote what we do here at onthecall.net. And Holly said, "Listen, Brisket Love wants to talk to you guys. They want to be a part of the broadcast. So thank you so much for being a part, and obviously serving us up with some great food." And, of course, Eagle Chiropractic, who jumped on Shane Allen, who's a former Eagle. Thank you so much, Shane, for not only believing in us, but also taking care of your Lindale Eagles as well. We say so long for a final time in 2022. Thank you so much for everybody that's been a part of our broadcast and our game tonight as we send you back for the 2022 basketball season for the Lindale Eagles. Hopefully you guys support your school and everybody that has to do with high school athletics. For Kevin Simon, Alan Phillips, and Stuart Campion, I'm Kenny Smith. I say good night, everybody, and good afternoon from Rose Stadium in Tyler.
Tonight's broadcast of Lindale Eagles football is brought to you by Rose City Air, Ironworks Web Design, Albert's Tire, Brisket Love Barbecue and Ice House, Root Construction, Eagle Chiropractic, Beeler Roofing, Marucci Elite East Texas, The Office Barn, and Doc Deason Real Edge Real Estate. Copies of tonight's game broadcast at onthecall.net. And all 2022 season games can be purchased from onthecall.net at any time the day after each game. OnTheCall.net and its supporters encourage all fans to make every opportunity to become involved in any child's education, enrichment, or any extracurricular activity they have a passion for. Thank you for joining us for Lindale Eagle Football with OnTheCall.net. Streaming East Texas high school sports, one game at a time.